Deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
There's always just that active red line defending. I think it's like.
Am I live? Of course I'm live. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Apologies for being 4 minutes late. I can't, well, a man said 11 minutes. I can't lie, people. I know I'm always late, but for one time, you know, the one time you actually did it is not me. I was getting shook. I can't lie. I was setting up. I big up Adrian Clark as well, by the way. I've got a collaborative piece for between us two. Pause coming out. Probably tomorrow. You know what? Probably tomorrow if we get through everything. But I was recording that. I got here on time. You know, I thought, you know what? Forget 12:30. Let's go at 10 past. For some weird reason, Twitch and YouTube would let me sign in. Twitch weren't letting me sign in. I was getting panicky. I thought, who's purged my account? Has I've ever been hacked? A madness has happened. What's going on? So we got there. You know, I guess I just had to remember my password and things like that. But yeah, one love to the Twitch gang. As usual, appreciate you folks on YouTube. On the topic of Twitch, again, 4:45, 5 p.m. kickoff is the final of the under-17s European Championships, and we're going to be watching that on Twitch, innit? So make sure you join me. We've got 29 likes. Can we get to 100 as we always set ourselves, people? So yeah, apologies, standard procedures. I see someone mention, you know, Martinelli to Juventus. I did see that as well. In fact, that's something we need to get on here as well. Martinelli, Juventus. I mean, we'd be getting seriously bumped if that's what we was going to do in it. Really and truly, we'd be zanging ourselves. And on that, what I might as well do as well, type Arsenal in again and see what else is there. As usual, people, I hope everyone's doing safe on this Wednesday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night. Hope everyone's progressively moving that much closer to overcoming hardship or achieving their goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, and aspirations. Can't do anything without health, so I hope you and your loved ones have continued good health and obviously better health. We can never be too healthy in it. So yeah, hope you're all doing well in what you're doing. Appreciative to you lot locked in. I appreciate all the support, man. I big up my man that saw me in Tesco's yesterday and said he watches my stuff late at night, and well, I saw him late at night. You know, obviously things like that you lot think it's just throwaway comments, man. It really means the world. I should have asked him how he actually found out about my content, but I'll the Cali and that, man, like, it's calm. Like, I spaced the hell out. In fact, that's one of the worst times. You know, oh, you're deleted. Yeah. Like, trust me, I'm not normally like this. Yeah, you caught man on a bad day. I'm a good guy, trust me. But yeah, Pogba's officially gone. Man, ain't no care about that Pogba easy stuff. At least he'll start shining now that Xhaka ran him out the league. Ain't no one trying to hear about Paul Pogba. The big up G1, man. The game's the game. Unexpected high bills if you don't hit the like button. Cam, shout the members. Members, if you're out there, please hit up the YouTube community tab because I've asked you lot for questions. I'm trying to get a Q&A going / potential content ideas. For you normal folk, the avenues will open up in due course. But yeah, please make sure you're supporting that. I can't ask myself questions. Appreciative to everyone who's a member or everyone that's on Twitch subscribing with Amazon Prime. In fact, if there was a way, you know, if you're subscribed via Amazon Prime, it's more or less the same thing. There's no community tab on Twitch to ask you lot for questions. So yeah, I wish CS, man. If I don't wish, I'm gonna get onto it. You know, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't wish. Shout out Pain Actor. Man said he gets a fresh trim and forgets about timing. To be fair, when my hair's a mess, I'm still late, man. At least I mean, it is what it is, man. You lot are gassing me. Let me get my thinking cap on again. Go and do what you're doing. You lot are gassing me. See, when I stop being humble, it's because of you lot. You lot are gonna turn me into a demon. You're turning into you're gassing me. But excuse me. You saying, well, you from around there? Well, I can't get your number now. You're gassing me. You lot are gassing me. Stop it. You lot, I'm a villain on the rest of days. You lot are gonna make a villain that you can't contain, man. Come on. You lot, I'm too easily influenced, man. God damn, this is one of my problems. Save Pogba easy, man. Leaves the same way, you know, he came to the club. Hell of excitement, ultimately flattering to deceive. You're gassing me. Always got to believe in Chris. Shout out to Chris. I mean, he moved all the way to Bounce this road. You know, but was there, mate. He's been in Bounces Road, he's been in Tottenham, he's been in Meridian, he's shit. I was even going when he was in West. Can't switch up on you. He's the guy who cut my hair when, you know, I cut my locks, really and truly. And he showed no remorse, man. You know, obviously cutting your hair is a big thing. Like, he didn't even give me time to think. Like, you want to cut your hair? Man, just grab the lock on my hand. Just like, oh, zhung. It's too late to turn back by then. But yeah, man. Why ain't you been here in a minute? Where you been? I hope you're doing what you're doing in it. So stay blessed, stay safe, and hopefully having a progressive day. You know, love to see you here. Free drinks. I stop the nonsense, you lot. Let's stay with football, mate. Yeah, one love to the Twitch ones, one love to the YouTube ones. Sorry for not being here at 11:30 or quarter to, and actually not 10 past. But yeah, I was making content in it. You know, again, that will come out in due course. We've got a backlog of content. I don't know why, but shit was just not uploading last night. Like, talking with you lot is the easiest thing to do, by the way. On that, any questions, talking points related to Arsenal or elsewhere, get them in, feel no sort of way. You know, we're going to crack on with the transfer news in a sec. I want to see that we're not missing anything else out. Anyone know any other left backs that are world class that we could be linked to? We ain't been linked with no world class fullbacks, really and truly. You know, I'm having Zinchenko. He's able to play on the left as well as in midfield. I'm having Aaron Hickey. That's actually the one I hope we get done. And just by, we're going to get into it, as I said, but I'm pretty sure one of the million tabs in front of me covers that. We've been linked with Grimaldo again. You know, us and Barcelona, we've been linked with him for years. You know, I would take him. Decent player, won't break the bank. Why not? Really and truly. So we'll never know. I can't lie. Even apparently, obviously, we spoke about Zinchenko yesterday, people. But even on the topic of Zinchenko, apparently Ake is allowed to leave. Now, again, if we are bringing in a centre half who is levels, then Ake is not necessarily that. I mean, don't take nothing away from it. I like Ake. I think he's a good player. But what I'm saying is, I would like someone that's a bit of an exception to the rule. In fact, his age goes against it, but he kind of is someone that's mid to late 20s, someone that, in the same way we love passing the ball, someone that really loves defending, that understands the art of defending, someone more experienced and completely different to what we'd have if Saliba returns. I say if because we don't know, but we hope so. Obviously, Gabriel is a bit naive as much as I like him. I don't understand, pardon me, big up Ben White, but I don't understand how Arsenal have had five. I think there was 5 players. I can't remember all of them. I think Saka and Ben White were nominated. I don't understand how Ben White is nominated for Arsenal Player of the Season, which there's no contest. It's Saka by a long distance, and not Gabriel. Gabriel's been better than him. Ben White's done well, but Gabriel's been better than him, really and truly. So I would, I'd like, but they've all had brain farts. I think Gabriel's not really learning from his mistakes to the scale of I wanted him to. Ben White's still extremely naive and moving like someone who, as much as I like him, he's just come off the back of his second full season in the Prem. Really, the first one where there's some real expectation on him and he's somewhat a leader in the defense. I don't understand how Gabriel's not there. So I would want someone that's an exception to what we have already. If you could find a left-sided guy that understands defending, everything I want to see in terms of street smartness from our existing centre halves, they've got, which I don't think Ake normally is. But I mean, Ake's been told he's allowed to leave. And is there a need to bring Ake in? Is he necessarily better than Ben White? Yes and no, but we spent 50 million. Gabriel and Saliba, I don't think he is, even though I like Ake, but that could be worth it. I mean, we can't buy everyone, but Ake's told he can leave. Zinchenko's been told he can leave. You could cover, all the aces. Apparently, Arteta wants someone who could play on the left side. That's Ake. Don't think would you rather sit on the bench at City or Arsenal? It depends how you look at it. I think there's game time for you, but even Ben White, next season, Ben White could be an option at right back, really and truly, kind of help Tomiyasu out. I was speaking with Adrian Clark, and it's a madness, but apparently Cedric played more in the league than Tomiyasu. I might be paraphrasing, but that's mad. So maybe Ben White can move over there, and there is a space for Ake, Saliba, Gabriel to coexist and whatnot, people. Or saying that, Rob Holding is still here. Apparently, Udinese haven't got the bread to go out there and sign Marie permanently, as we knew. So it depends. But if you could get Ake, Zinchenko, and Gab Jesus, again, it's very rare that you see a double swoop from clubs, let alone a triple swoop. And as Arsenal, we just need to get Gab Jesus over the line, and then we could talk about the others. But could it be worth bringing in Ake and Zinchenko? And obviously, Arteta's fixated with left footers. You'd have even more left footers in the team for you to go with Granit Xhaka, Gabriel, Saka, defo missing somebody out. Saka, wait, let me try this. Saka, Gabriel, Saka, Gabriel, Xhaka, Marie by default. There's definitely another left footer in this team. There's definitely another left footer somewhere. Pepe, but you know, Arteta's not fixated with him. Is there any more? Let's talk into existence, Fabian Ruiz. But yeah, maybe going for Ake could be could be something. But again, it's not that you're not gonna play. You know, I'd rather give Saliba chances, and it's probably naive to expect Saliba to start next season unless Ben White goes to right back. And you know, Saliba, if he is here, will probably rightly or wrongly start as the third choice centre half and just have to take his opportunities when it arrives. But you know, if you could shift Ben White over there and he plays more as a right back, him and Tomiyasu got versatility in that. There's game time for Ake here, but. Boy, if I'm Ake and I'm leaving City after picking up a league title and you're guaranteed to be challenging for trophies, I'm going to go to a club I'm going to play week in, week out. There's no point sitting on the bench, definitely for Arsenal. He's still kind of young, resale value, knows the London life because he obviously was at Chelsea. So, yeah, there could be reasons to bring him in. Pardon me. Any talking points, get them in, folks. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. We're only at 65 likes. What is all that about, people? You lot are doing the guy dirty, man. Sorry, and YouTube is fucking with me as well. YouTube copyright claim. What have I shown here that's been copyright? Alright, fair enough. Do your thing, but I ain't. All right, cool. You better bust that case because I ain't done nothing really. This is me. This is my intellectual property, and this is me in it. But yeah, man, me get back into what you lot are saying, man. You lot are so silly. Will Pogba be a good signing since he'll become a free agent? He'd be smoking the finest of Cali if he was to sign for Arsenal Football Club. But yeah, he would for all his baggage. If it was just in terms of quality, then yeah, you're a legend. Appreciate that. I'm only a legend because you lot are even bigger legends. But yeah, I'm just a normal guy talking about football with you lot, man. Let's sign some world beaters. I would love to, but you know, let's just sign some competent and consistent players first. Then everything else can take care of itself, really and truly. Who's your flop of the season? I imagine Cedric is up there for you. Not really, you know. It's a cop out, but oh yeah, Tierney, Odegaard. So yeah, I'm missing out bare left footers. You know, Marie, but we don't count them dons there, man. But yeah, who's your flop of this season? I imagine Cedric is up there for you. To be fair with you, if I ain't got expectations, I'm probably going to say Pepe, and that's probably a cop-out because of everything that's happened, but I don't rate Cedric. You can't be a flop if I don't rate you. If I don't think you're good, then you can have bad games and things, but I don't rate you. If I ain't got no expectations of you, how are you a flop to me in it? So you could say Cedric. I'd probably say it's a cop-out because it's the easiest one, but I'd probably say Pepe. For whatever reason, you know, it's not really happened. Even second half of the season, Arteta normally runs Pepe and we're all, you know, Pepe's second half of the season is brazy normally. It weren't that. So I'd probably say Pepe. Some of it's his fault. A lot of it is down to not playing. But yeah, defo, you know, your stock was on the floor really with Arsenal fans and at Arsenal anyways. And somehow, whether it's Arteta, Pepe, bit of the both, whatever you say, this guy's form, that guy's form. Yeah, I'd say him, and I wouldn't say he was going to set the world alight. Big up Charlie Patton, he also is as well. I'd probably say Pepe car. There's just for me, I expected a bit more, but you know, that's even probably being harsh to him realistically. You know, you could say Cedric. Could I say Lacazette? Excluding the purple patch, what do? You got outscored by Gabriel. You know, Odegaard could score a lot more, but Odegaard got 7 in the league. Someone that's not down to goal scoring. All the men that are not goal scorers are doing more than you. Like Eddie, not got the history of being a goal scorer in the professional game, under 21s, whatever. Got an opportunity, scored goals. You know, the young G, Saka and Smith Rowe, they're learning. I don't know if they're going to score double figures in the Premier again, more goals. Martinelli's got 6. Gabriel's outscored you. I don't really necessarily believe what I'm saying with it being Laka, but Laka's you know, even when Laka had his little juice, but he kind of lost it. So maybe them. Yeah, really. I would say there's flops and then there's underwhelmed players. I think I've been underwhelmed by Lokonga just because he's learning. I think he'll come good, but yeah, I've been underwhelmed by him. And then as you just, I mean, the Maries, the Holdings, these men are not rated anyway, so you can't really be flops in it, really. So I'd say it's a cop out and it's doing him dirty, and it's probably the easiest one. Pepe, player of the season would be Saka, which again is probably a cop out, bro. So yeah, really. I mean, all the guys that just doing what they're doing and making mistakes, then it is what it is. I can't really. I shout my guy Jay, even though he's a spud, man. But Tierney again, hella left footers, man. Low key, even though we are linked with Bastoni, you man should break the bank for him. I would love Bastoni, bro. I'd love if he goes to Spurs. I have to start watering down his ability. There's got to be a reason he's seen as a, he's seen as a golden boy in Italian football, and he's gone to Spurs, Conte or not. There's got to be a reason Inter was so quick to let him go. I'd love Bastoni. I know he got ripped by Liverpool, but I couldn't begrudge him. You'd want to go and play for Conte. You'd probably excel more in that defensive structure. There's 3 centre halves. I like Bastoni. Obviously, he's comfortable to play on the left hand side. For us, though, you're looking at probably 50 million or so, I'd say, for Bastoni, conservative figure. Do I see Mikel Arteta do, or the club doing that after, rightly or wrongly, and cue the links where, we spent 50 million on Ben White, man, got Bastoni, we're probably not going to do that, innit? It's probably a cut price, decent little option, something that could be done. It's probably not a blockbuster sort of centre half that's going to come. Ake is a massive no-brainer for any club, especially if it's free. He's got depth, man. He's got depth. What we're saying is Jesus coming. I don't know, man. His agent keeps flirting with us, saying he likes Arteta's project. Edu's been chatting to him since then. Things will become clear after the international break. So I think we have a chance. But as I always say, my guy, until the man is sat there and he's signing and he's saying, in Brazil, I was watching Thierry Henry growing up, and all the lies that players say when they sign for clubs, it's a myth. Shout out to you lot for getting Perisic and that. Would you prefer for us to sign Premier League midfielders like Tielemans and Basuma, or outside the league like Fabian Ruiz, Arthur Melo? Well, if you're talking about them sort of players, then I don't really care, man. Obviously, the Premier League proven. I know I'm exaggerating, but Cedric's Premier League proven. William was Premier League proven. You know what it was with these sort of guys. So, I'd like these. I'm not saying you, but these buzzwords, when they're said, they sound great. But then when you start breaking it down, I just want quality. Out of the names you said, if it was down to Tielemans and Basuma, I can't lie. Tielemans is more my sort of midfielder. But I'd rather Basuma because I don't know, really. I think Tielemans is more kind of what we need. Our problem was kind of controlling the tempo of games, breaking down low blocks, having someone in the pivot that can spray passes to allow Odegaard to drop deep when he wants to, but more time than not stay further up the field. Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, whoever's up front, the same. Our team drops. When we play a low block, we kind of struggle in that regards to go with not being able to break them down, which Basuma can pass the ball, but his primary job is a box-to-box ball-winning sort of midfielder. And I just think with Basuma, we'd be a bit more physically better. He can win the ball high up the field. Was it against Liverpool? I'm probably lying, but there was a game Basuma won. He basically assisted. It's not a real assist, but he's won the ball and he's passed it. And one of them Brighton Dons, I can't remember the game, but they danced past someone and scored. I think we could do a lot better with that. And at worst, if you could, Partey stays fit, Basuma, 2 thugs in the middle, physical presence, Odegaard being the pretty boy in there, them 2 are the bouncers. He's the Justin Bieber, connecting the lines. We can maneuver. I'm a fan of Arthur Melo still. I would, Arthur Melo, all the dons that look like damaged goods, I'd be taking a chance, really. Definitely not swapping Martinelli for no Arthur Melo, but yeah, Arthur Melo, his agent was speaking. We tried to get it done. I don't think he's going to set the world alight, but just in terms of basic competencies, why not? Fabian Ruiz seems hell-bent on returning to Spain. If Barcelona, Real Madrid, or anyone else doesn't have a chance, his contract, in fact, I don't know for Arthur Melo, but 2 of them names, 3 of them, Basuma, Tielemans, and Fabian Ruiz, they're all linked. They're all out of contract, in 2023. So you need to be bringing one of them to the carpet. Ruben Neves, you need to make something happen, innit? Like, there's no excuse for Arsenal not to. I'm not going to lie. I've been saying this since I've started YouTube, and in the last 2-3 years, in the summer, all I've asked from this club is a midfielder. You lot know me, I was gassed for the Locatelli links last year, not necessarily because of Locatelli. It's just, for me, if Arsenal's being linked with a midfielder, that means Xhaka's place is gone, and it's not a Xhaka hating thing. It's not a Xhaka hate campaign. I think he's a good squad player. I think there's certain things he does are underappreciated. I think there's no smoke without fire. You could say maybe that's where all the managers failed, but they all use Xhaka, and he again, I just don't think he should be starting week in, week out. so it's not really about Xhaka or Locatelli. I just thought, cool, now I'm going to see transformation in the midfield, because what you see is what you get really at Arsenal. Am I lying, folks? In the sense of Xhaka and Partey's hit and miss. You know, Partey, you can't really bet on him like Tierney. They're going to get injured. You know, I feel Partey had a decent season, was showing better form and things, but it was a stop-start one because of injuries. What you see is what you get with Xhaka. There's going to be better periods and slower ones, you know, but ultimately, throughout the course of the 38 games, you're going to say, you know, you speak to however many Arsenal fans, they're going to say something different. And we're kind of at where we're at. You know, Xhaka, for me, is a bit like Pepe, a bit like Lacazette, you know, Cedric, Holding. These guys can be thrown into it. I like El Nene, but El Nene as well. These guys are hot and cold. Like, you know, whether they play 5 games, 10 games, there's going to have them games where they do well when we give them their haylots, but more often than not, you're pleasantly surprised. You don't know that the talent is there, respectfully. I just want some players that we can rely upon really to a certain level, really. By all means, have these hot and cold dons. But yeah, there's been times, let me not lie, where Xhaka has held Partey's hand, where Partey's excelled with him, when either player's excelled without both of them. But as I said, there's too many hot and cold players. And yeah, I felt last season was the chance to kind of revamp our midfield. Maybe with Xhaka not going, that didn't happen. And even then, you know, a lot of the talk with Arsenal fans and Arsenal last season was, you know, the spine of the team's improved and things, which was kind of true. We did. But again, if you're talking about a spine of a football team, then you can't really say it's improved without bringing in a midfielder, surely, because yeah, Ramsdale come in, Ben White come in, Tomiyasu came in. If you know, if Tierney stays fit, that's a first choice back 5, and all the other things and whatnot. But we didn't address the spine of the team, which is the foundation of a house, more or less. So I do want to see midfield addressed. I do. Come on, man. The midfield battle is week in, week out. You know, goals wins you games. The defense wins you titles or makes the difference. Obviously, it's midfield battles week in, week out, and we ain't got technicians in there. We ain't got a mixture of technicians and physically imposing players. We ain't got physically imposing players. We ain't really got street smart players in there. We're playing a dangerous game in the middle of the park. You know, we're not mad offensive. We're not mad defensive. You know, we don't necessarily keep a lot of clean sheets. We don't score a lot of goals. More often than not, you're not going to be able to, you know, you're not going to do anything of significance in the season, and you're definitely not going to be able to decrease the fact that we lost 13 league games. You know, realistically, we could have lost 13 league games, or let's say 11 if we never lost to Newcastle and Spurs, and maybe still got top 4, even lost to Spurs, or we lost one of them games and still done the business. But you need to be looking at half in that realistically. You know, in August, you need to be looking at half in that. You need, let's say, not exactly half, but 6, 7, 8, 9 losses max. Really, 6, 7, really, them sort of things there was what you need to be aiming for. You're not going to do that with our midfield. We can't break down low blocks. We can't put people under sustained pressure. You know, when we're under the cosh, like when we're going to play a Liverpool or these sort of teams, or games like Spurs and Newcastle, we haven't got a midfielder that's just going to take a couple extra touches, get some fouls, try and dictate the tempo again, and things like that. And these are things that are harming us as a football club. And you know, you go into it not to be negative. I'm not being negative. You know, you're over relying on Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, etc. And it's not fair to them. It's not fair to us, really, to expect them to be able to do it for 38 games. You know, if you're not Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo and these sort of guys, I don't expect you really to be at it for 38 games in the league. But you know, we need to be aspiring to get into that sort of range, really and truly. What more can you say, really? That it is what it is. I need to see a midfielder. And again, I need to know the midfielder's weaknesses. Again, if I take someone like Tielemans, I'm having that. I'm taking Tielemans every day of the week. You know, get him here. Like, tell him every lie under the sun. But I need to know his weaknesses. I know you're a baller. You can play ball. Like, you can pick passes. You're cultured. You can do all of that. But there's certain things in Tielemans' game that I keep saying, and you look see it yourself, exact the same things you get onto Xhaka about. Tielemans does it. So I need to know how you're improving them. There's no point waffling about these guys' strengths. We've got a young squad. We're talking about development. You know, iron out the edges, really. You know, Tielemans is quite poor defensively. Tielemans gives away penalties. Tielemans, again, big up my guy Jay. He's a Spurs fan. He probably remember more than us. Against Leicester when they came from behind, who lost the ball for me? Bergwijn to score. Tielemans, you know. Tielemans is quite piss poor defensively. I hope that improves in things. And again, it is what it is, but we need to get to a neutral ground, really. So, yeah, I want to see the midfield revamped. If it was up to me, we'd be bringing in 2 midfielders or so, but it's not going to happen, is it, really? On NA new deal, you've still got Lukonga. And if Xhaka leaves, then that might make a difference. But Xhaka's there, Partey's there, Lokonga's there. New deal for El Nene. He's good for his 4 or so games a season. It's probably one and done, really. Odegaard and Smith Rowe can play there. I don't feel the same way they do about us. I would, if I could, and it's easy for me as a fan to sit here. I'd be bringing in 2-3 midfielders, really. You know, I think the only one that I could say is 100% safe in the middle of the park. I'm not counting Smith Rowe and Odegaard, the 10s. The only one that I could say is probably safe is Partey. And, you know, that's with obviously acknowledging injuries. You know, if I could, I'd bring in 2 number 8s and a 6. I'd get Basuma, Tielemans, or someone else. Or, you know, rather elite. Out of all the names, the Fabian Ruizes, the Tielemans, the Hours, the Arthur Melos, all these, Ruben Neves, I'd be getting 2 at least 3, but 2, you know, 2 number 8s and a 6, really. You know, if Basuma could be done, why not? They, you know, El Nene, I probably would have let go, even though I see why he signed the new deal. Lokonga, if Basuma arrived, I'd probably let you go on loan. Obviously, you got to keep a, you know, you got to keep a couple. In fact, you know what, El Nene could have probably stayed. Lokonga could have went on loan, even though I don't really want him to. I just want to transform the midfield, man. I just don't think we're gonna get to where we need to get to with certain players, really. They might, you know, do well for 10 or so, 5, 10, 2 games. But again, there's not, hand on heart, there's not too many players Arsenal fans can sit there. And I'm not trying to be negative. Arteta himself, there's not too many guys you can sit there and say, yo, you're going to do the business. We ain't, you know, again, I don't want to keep using Spurs, but Spurs can sit there and say, unless absolute madness happens, Son and Kane are getting double figures. Kulusevski, based on what he's shown us in January, he's going to get them some numbers. Their midfield ain't going to really score unless they bring people in. Their defense is what it is, but that can make up the difference. You look at our team, at this moment in time, even if we signed Gab Jesus, I don't know if you're going to score goals because you ain't got the CV to score goals. We can talk about, with a platform, he might do the business, etc., etc. But if we go off what we've seen, you know, they rate your work rate, your pressing, your pause, your versatility, etc. No one mentions Gab Jesus and goals. So you're betting on that. Eddie and Nketiah, big up yourself. You know, in the last sort of furlong on the season, he did well, but you've got 20 odd appearances in the league, not really a mad amount of goals. So I don't know if you're able to do it. Saka, Smith Rowe, I expect you lot to score next season, but I don't know that with my heart. Martinelli, the same. Odegaard, 7 and 4, 7 goals, 4 assists, could do a lot more. Should be aiming for 10 and 10, but I don't know that. I don't know that if my defense is good enough, despite spending however much Gabriel cost, Ben White cost, Tomiyasu cost, Ramsdale cost, Tierney cost. You add up the total cost. I don't know if that's going to get me X amount of defense. Clean sheets. So I don't really know if we're going to score goals, keep clean sheets, and then obviously, you know, the obvious. So it's a mixed bag. I can't really sit, you know. So how can the manager sit here in August and say, yeah, we're going to do this, that, and the other? And the gloves are off. Regardless, you know, you need to get top 4 or fight for top 4. You need to, obviously, I'm not going to talk about the evident improvements, game management, etc. Clearly needs to improve in it, you know. But in terms of just results, FA Cup, you need to go as far as you can. Europa League, anything less than the final / winning it is a failure. Same with me in the FA Cup personally. The only one you get a bit of a blight with is the League Cup, but you know, you can go as far as you want. Top 4, you need to do. Money's been spent, new deals have been given out, certain players have got to stay, certain contracts have been given out. The gloves are off, really, really, really and truly. He was only getting 5-10 minutes, but that's what I'm saying. With, you know, now that's what I'm saying. When you look at his whole total appearances where Eddie's concerned, it's rubbed. But we all know, really, I've said it before, I count his season when he got his first real start at the tail end of this. You know, the West Ham, the United, Chelsea, this is when his season has started. But I'm saying in August, you've been here for years and now you're finally arriving. I can't now sit here and I give you your hail-ups, and not to be negative, I can't criticize, you know, I'm not criticizing him, but you've been here for years. Whether you've got a chance or not, you've not shown us goals when it's mattered. Yes, you scored in the cups and that, big him up for that, you know. And you've done well now. I can't confidently say, and it's not fair to Eddie either because he's not been there and done it, that you're going to get X amount. Don't get it twisted. Next season, Odegaard, you need to be aiming for 10 goals, 10 assists in the league minimum. Martinelli the same. Saka the same. Smith Rowe the same. Any new striker that arrives, I need 15, 20, you know, sort of thing. You know, Eddie and Nketiah, if you're second, third fiddle, third choice, you know, if you're second choice, I don't think I'm asking for 10 league goals. It's provided you get enough opportunities. Hit the like button, people. We're not at 200 yet. I don't think I'm asking for too much if you bag 10 league goals. If you don't play like that, I'm not asking for too much, really. I don't think I'm asking for too much. So, yeah, man, our midfield needs to score goals. We need goals, man. We need to be more physically imposing next season as well, man. In my opinion, as well. We'll get into the transfer window in just a second. But I'm loving the comments, man. You're in top form. Stay blessed, my dude. Hey, where's that comment gone? Someone said stay blessed. J Money, shout at you. Someone said stay blessed. Stay blessed to you as well, man. It's a bit of a shame that comment's gone. So yeah, I would love to see Jesus is coming. Spurs increase the distance between us and them. Good for them, man. Where's the trophies? I have to keep running that. It's self-inflicted, man. We could have finished first. I think if they don't get top 4, Kane's not signing no new deal. Conte bus is out. You know, they brought in Perisic, but we've probably continued their lifespan for about 18 months or so. I hope it all collapses. But yeah, man, Spurs are building a madness, really. It is what it is, man. So yeah, there's hella left footers in this team, as you lot have said. I think White can low-key do the 6 role. He's played there in the past and his ability on the ball is great. I mean, White could probably do a job in midfield, but for me, centre-back, right-back, you're doing your job there at this moment in time. Just mop up all the players City don't want. Ake, Zinchenko, Gundogan, Jesus. I mean, they all get into our team, really, but I'd really have to question mark Gundogan if he signs for us and spends his late 30s here. You know, Ake, I would take you, but if you're going to sit on the bench and be a rotation option at Arsenal or City, there's no contest there, really. But pardon me, Jesus, it makes sense. But yeah, man. I'd take Ake, but if he want to sign for us? Without then they sign a new contract, do you think we sell Aziz? I don't think we should sell Aziz, but if I was him, I'd be pushing to go out on loan. I wouldn't. A lot of these young players, I wouldn't just be harping on about trying to play in the cup, the occasional. There's only so many cup games, you know. There's only Bremer's hard as well. Signed him in FM. There's only so many cup games, and really, you know, what's that? 6 games in the group or something like that in Europa League. If you're a young late teens, early 20s and whatnot, you're not really going to develop that much, are you? You're not really going to develop that much, are you? You know, playing that occasional game. So a lot of them, whether you're Aziz, Kiddo, Taylor Hart, Amari Hutchinson, I'd be surprised if they haven't all gone on and pushed for themselves to go on loan, really and truly. Come on, smash the like button, people. Marina's leaving Chelsea, allegedly. We'd have to see, man. I'd say Lacquer because Pepe wasn't ever being given a proper chance. I agree with you, DG. You can't say that someone's a flop if you didn't expect much from them anyways. Follow Arsenal. Pay for me to go to America. That shit's expensive, bro. Like, flop is Tierney, allow it. Go and watch the early bits of the season and the assists. There's no way Tierney and flop is ever mentioned in the same sentence. The Flying Scotsman is a key player for Arsenal. Hopefully the man can stay fit, stop going off to international duty, but there's no way I'm entertaining Tierney flop talks. Let's go for players with only 1 year left. Let's just go for the right players, my guy. Appreciate that. Good morning, my fellow Bayesian. Gabriel White, Saliba to rotate and hopefully get a lefty centre-back who doesn't mind sitting. I don't know what we're doing, man. You're right. Unexpected high bills if you don't hit that like button. What other things am I missing out? Man said Tierney flop. Less said that. You're talking to the chairman of the Tierney fan base. No Tierney slander is acceptable. Get out of here with that one. I agree Arsenal take way too long getting players in. Many other Prem clubs pay the money as soon as possible and get players in for training camp, always behind the 8 ball. Let's hope that you know, they prove us wrong in that regards, man. Gunners didn't really have flops, not on the same level as Rashford, Pruno, Maguire. Half of these guys, you're doing Sancho dirty, but half of them players you're saying, United fans were saying they're the best in the league. Wait, I'm just trying to slander, man. I would take Ruiz over Tielemans, you know. I just feel if we looked at Tielemans and Ruben Neves, I feel what Tielemans plus points are more stand out than Ruben Neves is. But I think the basic competencies in midfield, I think Ruben Neves is better than Tielemans. You know, it's Tielemans off the ball that I'm worried about. On the ball, wavy, having that, wavy. But everything else, and that's half the problem. You know, I'm not really scared for Xhaka on the ball for as much as you could say. It's off it, really and truly. Half our problems is what we do off the ball, actually. On the ball, there's, we're not scoring, we're creating, but it's not really creating to me. We're not able to break down low blocks. So on the ball is a serious problem for Arsenal, but it's off it. It's, Holding and Cedric. You know, it's Arteta setting it up as a flat back foot four against Son in that left channel, and it's Holding and Cedric not taking responsibility and being sensible, or, you know, several phases of play goals would have stopped. You know, you look at the cheap goals from set pieces we've conceded recently. You know, you look at midfield runners. That's been midfield runners just not being marked has been a theme for years, much less this season. The last goal we conceded of the season, forgive me if I'm wrong, Van der Beek, and actually Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We're not following runners. So these are basic competencies off the ball, which the manager and obviously the players, because they've got to be more street smart than this. You know, we're taking leads and we're panicking and the rest of it. The flop has to be Lacazette. He scored 1 goal in 3 months, which was a pen, and has played majority of the season. I don't rate Pepe, but I think it's hard to say he's been the biggest flop. It's true, man. Tomiyasu is good, but unstable at the same time. Just the injury thing now, really. So I don't know about unstable. Laka is flop of the season, man. Couldn't rise to the occasion and replace Oba's goals. I mean, we're doing him a bit dirty because people were gassing up Lacazette and saying, give him a new deal. He worked hard. You remember when Smith Rowe and Saka were bagging every week and Lacazette was dropping deep into midfield? People were saying, give him a new deal for that. And then they turn on him as well, man. Defensive qualities aren't a massive priority for Arteta's 8 role. He needs offensive output to go with his high possession expectations. I mean, it's true, but if you look at Arteta, a bit like Pep, he's very big on stuff off the ball, really. And whether he likes it or not, what our midfielders and the rest of this team do off the ball is going to make the difference, really. Just because you're coming to be an 8 don't mean you don't have to defend. Just because you're coming to be a number 6 don't mean you don't have to be able to pass the ball forward. You know, again, it's all fun and games, but we're not City, we're not Liverpool, we're not going to have the lion's share. Let's not lie, majority of games we're probably going to have the majority of possession, but we haven't earned that right to just turn up and do what we do. It don't work like that. So he can say whatever he wants. They need to be decent. Shout yourself, Paul. Come on, my dude, man. Hey, DG, hope you and everyone in the chat are blessed. I finished work early today, so I've managed to catch you live. Come on, man. Hope you had a good day at work. Big up yourself and nation. Trim looking good, bro. Appreciate that, man. Come on. Man's got things to do this bank holiday. Come on, nah. It's crazy. DG, you need an elite creator, someone at the top of chances creative performance. I don't want Bruno Fernandes. Let's just let Brooke, Norton, CUFFY develop, you know, and he's not going to play enough games to develop at Arsenal. You know, it's probably best he goes on loan again. I'd back the young lad all the way, but, you know, he has to learn harsh lessons. You know, again, it's for fullbacks, harsh lessons to learn. And I would love him to go Championship or above or League One again. You need to play against physically imposing characters, you know, again, and he's doing quite well, still eligible to even play at under 18s level this season. So, yeah, man, let the man develop, man. There needs to be academy chances, but you can't just give academy players opportunities for the sake of it. Look how long it's taking Eddie to half turn up, and fans can't have it the same way. We've done Project Youth. Fans didn't care about that when we drop points, man. It's crazy, man. We physically need to improve drastically. I don't want us getting bullied again like we did against Palace, for example. Shout out to you. Oh, well, we got the pagans in here. 30 years Spurs fan here in peace. Not sure why this came up on my recommended. Probably because I've been searching for all the reaction to the North London derby 2 weeks ago. Anyways, enjoyed hearing your thoughts on the issues. For what it's worth, looking in from the outside, your priority should be a striker. You can get 20 plus next term. We need that, but also you need to have service, really and truly. There's no point buying food. You know, you can buy all the food in the grocery store. If you ain't got no fire to cook it, no water to boil it, you know, and it's not stuff you can consume raw, then no one's eating, is it? It's whatever way we look at it. I think, man, have to do this the coaching thing as well, man. Like, the midfield needs movement. There's not really much movement in front. It's quite obvious. Like, even against Newcastle, I can't even remember the Spurs one, but against Newcastle, you know, when things are going wrong, on the best of days, but when things are going wrong, we're just going to bang it into the channels. Saka, Martinelli on your back. It's Saka and Inshallah, and that was getting red. You know, first and second, just win the header, win the second one. Or if Saka breezes past you, they're doubling up, tripling up against him. Teams are reading it. So keep that as a ironically an Arsenal to have, but you need other things, man. I don't think we blindside teams enough. If we was threatening on both sides, where we've improved on the right, obviously our most dangerous attacker in Saka's there, Martin Odegaard peels over there. But, you know, if everybody's fit, probably going to be doing the most damage down the left-hand side, and we need to obviously it's like every team. You want to be able to score down the left, down the right, options in the middle. There's a lot of, and this is where I go back to off the ball in an attacking and defensive sense is where we can help ourselves the most. Recruitment's half the job. We sign players all the time. Like, you know, we spent 50 million on the centre half. We're still probably waffling about centre half. We spent bare money on this defense. We have spent 72 million on Pepe, 52 on Lacazette, 30, 40 odd on Xhaka. Money's not the issue. You know, gave Willian the bag, gave Marie the bag in their own little aspects. Money's not the, it gave Eddie the issue, the bag. So money's not the issue. It's what we're doing with it. Like, money's not everything. If money was everything, Arsenal, Everton, and United probably be back to where they needed to be, really. It's about spending correctly. It's simple as that, really. We all love Brooke, Norton, Coffee, but let the man develop, man. I am not you as well, man. Shout the Twitch. I tried to bop through under the radar as well, man. I tried to just bop through under the radar, but you lot need to allow me. But come on, let me take some water. Come, fucking sexy still. DG, why don't we look at how many free agents there are right now? We could be offering signing on fees, all the transfer market and so on. But what free agents? You know, Kylian Mbappe signed the deal. You're not getting Pogba. What free agents? Literally our hype. Listen, he'll be coming and doing the simple things. Obo was flop of the season. To be fair, you could say about me, I completely forgot he was at Arsenal Football Club. You know, it feels like just a long time ago, really. Maybe Maddison and Basuma would be a dream for me. And if what I hear is true, and we're going for Jesus, him and Eddie will be our main strikers. Then we need a goal scoring winger. Trust the Gnabry thing looks like it's meaty. Tommy is ish going forward. Tommy's just not the guy for that. Like Tomiyasu's just calm, basic. Like he's on just defending, and that's cool. Obviously, we need to get more of a tune out of him defensively. You know, I mean, offensively in the modern game, you need to be able to do that. But yeah, he's not the guy for that. He's safety first. I like that about Tomiyasu, but you're right. We need something else. Xhaka makes half his mistakes on the ball because when he gets pressed, he can't play effectively and makes mistakes. He's not good enough on or off the ball, in my opinion. He's 5 out of 10 on the ball. You know, again, let the young players develop, but it can't just be for the sake of it, really and truly. Doherty, Tomiyasu. Big up yourself, Mark. Anyways. Arsenal just make paper signings. They don't want to waste money. Very stingy club. I don't know about that. Big up. This channel is fire for news and updates. DG and Turkish on point. Shout out yourself for that. Plenty movement from Martinelli. Got to play to his chance. But if one man's moving, it's dead. The whole, like, again, it's like solving a puzzle. You know, you need to blindside individuals. Smith Rowe will be at City. Everyone knows Saka is Salah's replacement. I'll take your word for it, man. Take your word for it. One sec. What the hell's Twitch saying here? Just understand trolling's amazing, but come on, man. I can't lie. I'll keep Brooke until Jan in Europa. Bro, you're not gonna. That's dead. How many? When does Europa kick in? And how many Europa games are there? Like, let the man go and play football. That's one thing I think we don't do. Is it any coincidence Eddie's playing catch up and now he's finally showing something? How long did it take Joe Willock to start showing something? You know, Reece Nelson still not really showed it, but showing something. Smith Rowe, we're playing catch up. Went Huddersfield, finally showing something. Sometimes one thing I do like the club is doing is letting these young players go out on loan. Brooke, go and play football. You know, jumped in at the deep end, solidified himself at 23's level, went to Lincoln, but it was only half a season. How the Balogun's playing catch up. Go and let these guys play ball, man. I don't advocate loaning people for the sake of loaning people. But, you know, when you find the right one, like we did with Smith Rowe's Huddersfield, like Brooke was at Lincoln, like Nelson's was in the second half of the season, you know, let them do their thing there. Like Daniel Ballard at Blackpool, and I don't want to rate Millwall for anything because them and they're racist, but Millwall as well, then by all means. But playing 6 games out of however many is a myth. You got to remember, when our backs are against the wall, is Arteta going to throw Brooke, Norton, Coffee in? Probably not for all his talent. He's probably going to lean towards Ben White playing there. Tomiyasu's still there. There's probably some other options we can flirt with there. So look, and sometimes it's not the best for these young players. Let the man go somewhere where obviously Lincoln fans, for example, are going to get onto him if he makes mistakes. But go and make mistakes elsewhere, really and truly. He's got, there's no rush, man. The man's 18, 19 years of age. He will have a good future in the game. I hope it's here. I hope he can save us money. And I think because of his mentality alone, the young man stands quite a good chance of making it here. But just let the guy go on loan, man, and do his thing. Half of these guys, Miguel Aziz, some of them are going to have to stay in and around the team. But if I'm Amari Hutchinson, I've kind of completed 23's level. I need to be outside my comfort zone. I know Kiddo Taylor Hart was injured, but if I'm Kiddo Taylor Hart, I need to be outside my comfort zone. If I'm Balogun, I need to be outside my comfort zone. If I'm Brooke Norton Coffey, I need to be out my comfort zone. The only difference I would say is Charlie Patino, because he could go on loan, but he's one just because of how I can't really explain it, because of how he plays and whatnot. I think he'd be one that I'd keep until January. He's one that I'd like to see in and around the team, if I'm honest with you. 400 of you locked in, people. Unexpected the like button. There's only 185. The Twitch gang is in top form as they normally are, man. So yeah, man. They're both meaty. He said who? Oh, said it himself. He wants to go on loan. Gab Jesus would never pick Arsenal over Spurs. To be honest, I think Arsenal are getting ahead of themselves. Any Champions League team will easily snatch literally any of your targets away. Glenn, I'll take your word for it, man. If that happens, just got to find someone else. That's the beautiful thing about football. There's millions of footballers. Go and find someone else, man. Simple as that, really. I definitely ain't accepting football opinions from someone that said Doherty is better than Tomiyasu. You're smoking the finest of crack there. Like, shout out everybody, but yeah, you'll be. But if he goes to Spurs, then Arsenal go and get someone else. It's as simple as that. Like, it happens, when you're not the elite of the elite, which Spurs definitely can't say they aren't. Then targets are always, they might pick Arsenal over Spurs, they might pick Spurs over Arsenal, they might pick this team. Go and get the next one. Simple as that. This is the market. DG AZ Maitland knows what you're saying. DG, it's over, innit? Like, we'd all love the Haaland boys, but you need to keep it moving. You need to go and play football, and it's not going to happen here, is it? Simple as that. Grimaldo is worse than Cedric Suarez. I don't agree with that. I'm not trolling, bro. Serious Benfica fan from Portugal. Buy Grimaldo. He's good. I don't think we're buying him, man. Man said Doherty, blood. He's not even trying, bro. Spurs fans will tell you Doherty, you're lying with the Doherty thing, no matter if he's good form or not. Dumfries seems to have been, that one there is gone. Looks better in the back three. He's leaving for 10 million this summer. Big bargain. Listen, I'll go and do your thing, man. And that's the thing. Hey, it's just based on current form. You're going to be playing right wing for Spurs. And I'll only say that because even Kulusevski's doing well. You're not playing ahead of Kane. You're not playing ahead of Son. If these men got injuries and need rest, then that's you. So yeah, man. DJ, I believe that getting the balance of this team is integral to growth and success of Arsenal competing for trophies, much like football. Paul Torres Delight seems to be going United, really. Which, I mean, he'd be a good partner with Varane, definitely better than what they could put together at this moment in time. The only thing I would say is he, Varane and him, they're not physical enough, in my opinion. Pardon me, you need an aggressor, a good cop to a bad cop sort of thing. Darwin Núñez would be a great signing. He's a good finisher, 26 goals and 28, still young and is a presence in the box. Wouldn't mind Jesus because he offers a lot all round, but he isn't a defining goal scorer. You're right. But the Darwin Núñez, it seems like United have won that one, in my opinion, just based on current reports. Paul Torres too lightweight for me. Shout out you for the cheering over there. I think Paul Torres is a bit overrated. That would be the added bonus, if we could get a striker that could do the obvious things that we seek, but they're able to obviously be a physical outlet. I look at games like Spurs, Newcastle away where backs are against the wall, even to a degree Palace. We just need someone to hold the ball up. If you could have that, and also a man that can win, a midfield that can hold on to the ball and do things and be brave, would be a lot better as a team, really. Dybala's not really going to help us. Free agents, Talisio, Christensen, Eriksson, Dybala, Kessié, Tarkowski, Isco. You got any interest in any of them? Isco, no. Eriksson's gone. Christensen's gone Barcelona. Isco, no. Kessié be welcome, but he's gone Barcelona. Dybala would be welcome, but he doesn't fix anything beyond being a great player. Where's he going to play? He's going to either play in that 10 where Smith Rowe and Odegaard play. Of course, he can play out wide as well as up front. You know, all we'd be doing with signing Dybala, gassing the fans. It'd be a blockbuster signing, a good name. You know, he's clearly a terrific player technically, but what is he solving? Of course, he could boost the creativity we already have, but he's not scoring goals necessarily. So once I get past that, we're not doing much. I mean, I would love 2 strikers, but with Eddie and Nketiah staying in, again, I don't know, but it's probably unrealistic. It's probably best to expect one and done, really. I don't think Gilmando's better than Tierney. Being better than Tavares ain't really an achievement per se, but fair play to him. He is a loanee, but they've got him basically. They said they're going to keep Kulusevski and they've got an option, and I can't imagine it'd be stupid for Spurs to get rid of him, really, in my opinion. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but if I was, I'd rather sign Gnabry over Dybala. Trust. Shout out Vegas gone off, obviously, for the group, for the super chat first and foremost. Big up DG. It's known that Torreira doesn't want to be in London, but is Melo any better than him? They seem similar, completely different players. You know, Torreira's down to win the ball and that. Arthur Melo's probably someone you want with the ball, really. I don't think Arthur Melo transforms us, but he does well. Let's get up to 200. We do need a couple more scumbags in this team. I know there's been elements of Ramsdale, Ben White, Gabriel all being shithouseries, but yeah. I don't know about Gabriel, defensive midfielder. You're bugging out there. And you lot get on to Arteta for doing all of these things. That's crazy. Isaac. I mean, they're asking for too much money for Isaac, man. I mean, Holding here and there does the bad boy thing, but again, he's dead. Big up Holding for keeping quiet with Diego Costa. But yeah, he's a squad player. He's a squad player, nothing else, really. And that's the only issue with Arsenal. Sometimes we need to accept dons or squad dons and maneuver past that, really. Of Gabriel CDM. Smoky chatting mud. Like, I appreciate the opinions, but barking out with them ones there. Holding's a squad player, nothing else, man. Let's just make our... you know what? I wouldn't force him out, but if someone wants to give you a decent profit on the 2 million you spent, then it is what it is. Stop spamming, my guy. Stop spamming. It's not going to get anything read out. It's just going to get you timed out. There's no need to spam, man. We're here for a good time and a long time. Just chill out, man. Dude, chill out, chill out, chill out. Moving away from that, let's get into the transfer news, man. I've been here for time. As much as I'm enjoying the conversation, keep it flowing, folks. Transfer news. Moderator, stay on job with that. Has there been anything that's come out in the last hour or so as well? Again, it is what it is. What's that about? Let's set this to an hour, in fact. See what's come out in the last hour. All right. Willian's stinking up the place over there in Brazil. So yeah, man, is what it is. Anyways, moving on. Let's look at some of this transfer news. Now, obviously, the Serge Gnabry dream's over, people. Like, as I said, if I'm Gnabry, I pick Real Madrid. Who wouldn't want to play? I'd really question Gnabry's ambitions and aspirations if he signed for Arsenal. As much as he loves the club, allegedly, London lifestyle, all of that, bro. This ain't Serge Gnabry that we signed from Stuttgart or wherever he was. You know, this is Serge Gnabry that's won Champions League and everything there is to offer with Bayern Munich. Someone that wants to be handsomely compensated and wants to win trophies at 26 years of age. He'd be doing us a favor, and I would love him. Obviously, if you got Gab Jesus to go with Eddie and Gnabry can play as a false nine and all these other things, amazing. But you'd have to question his ambition. You know, Arsenal, I hope we get him. I hope we got as much as we want, but beyond the pipe dream, that's a myth. You know, Real Madrid is Gnabry's preferred destination if he decides to leave Bayern this summer, which, I mean, is better than going to Liverpool to replace Mane. Madrid for a couple of years. Hopefully, you know, you gave us Mesut Ozil, you gave us Odegaard. Hopefully our our path crosses again. People forget Gnabry can play as a 10. I firmly disagree. Gnabry is exactly what we need. You know, he scores goals. He can, you know, Arteta's free to do what he wants with him in all them other positions. He's in his peak powers. It would go somewhat to mitigate against goals. I mean, if Gnabry signed, you've got Odegaard who could score more, Smith Rowe and Saka. Obviously, you'd still bring in a number 9 to go with Eddie. I'd have a lot more comfortability with our ability to be able to get things done. I mean, I would take Paul Pogba, but Pogba isn't coming here, bro. And it comes with a lot of baggage. I mean, how you view Pogba is how you probably view Mesut Ozil. We've been down that route before. I would love Fabian Ruiz, but it looks like it's not going to happen. You'd rather Cody Gakpo. Shout out Cody Gakpo, but what I see is what I get from Gnabry, really and truly. So I'm having that, but apart from that, the dream's dead, innit? The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately, as we all know. So he wants to go Real Madrid. Allegedly, Real Madrid likes Gnabry a lot. The club's management has been in constant contact with the player's agents for a while now. Madrid is the Germans' favorite destination if he were to leave Bayern this summer. We did hear Haaland favorite to go Madrid and Mbappe once upon a time. How did them things there develop? I wouldn't say Tielemans is underrated if everyone thinks he's a good player. It doesn't really make sense, that comment, really. But it is what it is. Big up yourself, DW. So yeah, that's Gnabry. Moving away from that, though, so I've already got the reports of this. Apparently, big up my guy Giles. Arsenal are still interested in Arthur Melo as well as Tielemans. They state that Edu wants to reignite Arthur's file, which led to interest in the January window. Arthur Melo needs to play to be selected in the World Cup 20 Evolution, mate. But yeah, in relation to this article, in Tielemans and Arthur. Arsenal are looking to hire a midfielder on the ball market. Arthur from Juventus and Tielemans from Leicester are of interest to the English club. The Belgium is well evaluated and considered a priority, while the Brazilian is an old target and continues on the list. The Gunners return to consult the situation of the last transfer window in January. On the occasion, Edu indicated the name of the steering wheel with whom he lived in the Brazilian team. Google Translate moving a bit crazy there. But Juventus negotiated Bentancur with Tottenham and did not agree on the loan of Arthur to Arsenal, a possibility that seduced the Brazilian. Tielemans, as we know, is contracted until 2023, and obviously it looks like he could be moving. Arthur has 2 years left on his deal. He's contracted until 2025. In January, one of the reasons for the Brazilian to accept the transfer was to have more minutes on the field with an eye on the spot in the Brazilian team that will compete in the World Cup in Qatar. He was not called up by their coach for the friendlies against South Korea and Japan in June. So if he doesn't go somewhere and play football, you're going to miss out on the World Cup. And how old is he? 26, 25, 26. Arthur Melo, you got at least 2 left in you, 1 at your peak, but you don't want to miss that one. And even if you do get selected, you don't want to get called up when you're coming off the back of an indifferent season. You want to feel good, be playing bare games, feel important, etc. So, yeah, it's a World Cup year. There's a lot for people to consider, both leaving this club and arriving. So, that's that. Fabrizio Romano has said, hey, you're going to have to go, man. You keep spamming, bro. Fuck out here. Arsenal are still interested in Yuri Tielemans. Plans have not changed. He's a target for the midfield. Hit the like button, people. Will take some time. 2 other clubs are also in the race for Tielemans. He's going to leave Leicester this summer, so we'll have to see what is going on. Why is my name? Oh, someone shout out to you for at me and that. I'd like to say, what's that about? Apparently, Grimaldo to Arsenal, people, depending on where you read it. Apparently, Grimaldo, a Spanish left back whose contract ends in 2023. That's the links. That's where the links come from, as well as being a left back. Apparently, Benfica want to sell him. Arteta, the Spanish coach who runs Arsenal, has already asked the club for a left back, and that as first option, the name of Aaron Hickey, Scottish defender, only 19 years of age, who is contracted until 2024 with the Italians from Bologna. Guarantee the same sources. Grimaldo is being seen as a safer option that could be cheaper, despite Benfica believing that he can make between 15 and 20 million euros with the sale of the 26-year-old. According to the newspaper The Scum, this is not the first time the name of Grimaldo has appeared in the corridors, and Arsenal will have already tried to sign him when Emery was the coach. I don't know. Cucurella's been linked with City. Arsenal, City, which one are you choosing? and they might sell Zinchenko. We've spoken about Ake. Apparently, Nathan Ake and Zinchenko have been told they're free to leave this summer if Man City receive suitable offers. I'll take both of them, really. You know, fullback as well as at centre half and provides depth. They're both not the oldest, so why not bring him? You know, I would, you know, let's try and get Gab Jesus first, and then Zinchenko second, and then Ake. But fair enough, really and truly. So there's that. Let's look on good old AFC stuff and see what's come up here. Shout out to them, man. No one trying to hear about Matt Turner and. Apparently, Arsenal and Man United, want to transfer Fabian Ruiz. We did hear in February that Arsenal have held talks with Fabian Ruiz's agent. The Spanish footballer rejected Napoli's contract of an extension. And for me, he probably ends up going to Spain. But who knows, man? We can't be the only club interested in him. So I don't think we're getting Fabian Ruiz. But for what it's worth, he would be lit. Club hard at work to keep Arsenal player. Everyone talking to each other to find agreement. What's this about? Unable to find game time under Mikel Arteta at Arsenal during the first half of the season. Pablo Mari decided to go. Blah blah blah. His club finished 12th. Apparently, it's explained that Udinese are hard for him initially over 12 million. Udinese can't afford to give him that. And this is the problem. He's contracted until 2024. But this is what I mean, you know. We got him for 12 million. We got Tomiyasu for about 16. Sometimes you can, when you've done your due diligence, like you've seen with Tomiyasu, then you get a deal. You get a bargain. Sometimes what you see is what you pay for. This is what I call expensive. I couldn't tell you how many appearances Marie's actually made for this football club. And if you broke down the cost of the wages and everything, how much that has cost us, you don't believe in him. And obviously you've given him clearly decent wages and you want to recoup your money. So you make it tough to get rid of these guys. This is stuff like this and Willian. And in hindsight, I don't quite agree with it. But Aubameyang's contract is as costly as spending 52 million on Lacazette or 72 million on Pepe and it not working out. It's everything you do. So hopefully this gets wrapped up. But you could see Marie was shit from the start. But it is what it is where Pablo Marie is concerned, folks. Juventus, Inter Milan, and Roma are all interested in signing Hector Bellerin this summer, which is good for us if we can't reach an agreement with Betis. But Bellerin's all but confirmed that he don't want to return to Arsenal. He'd like to stay at Betis. The president has spoke, and hopefully we can give him his wish, man. Hopefully it gets done. But if not, you could go play under Jose Mourinho. I'm sure Wenger would WhatsApp you or call you and have something to say. But 3 massive clubs, you know. I'm sure Ainsley can tell you about Roma. You know, I'm sure you've crossed paths with Tammy. You know, Bellerin's a fashionista. Italy's the place to be. Big clubs like Juventus and Inter Milan, it needs no introduction. So I hope Bellerin gets his move to Betis because he deserves it. But if not, boy, you have to keep it moving, innit? It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Listen, I hope Matt Turner's lit, but I can't verify him. 100 likes, we're at 219 people, so I hope he's lit, but I don't know. I can't verify him and the other guys. Ake is Rob, looks good when the team's got the ball. When he actually has to defend the guy, looks lost. I think that's a fair comment, a bit harsh, but I see where you're coming from with that. But you know, I've seeing Pablo Mari on the books of this club, man. You know, so I'd rather us not do it, but I wouldn't be against it if it happened. And you know, give it about 48 hours. We'll be linked with Ake, like Gundogan, pardon me, like Raheem Sterling, like Zinchenko, like Gab Jesus, and any one of the 20 million players that could leave City. Richarlison, Marquinhos, Martinelli. I mean, it's lovely for Brazilians, but I can't verify Marquinhos, Austin Tusty, whatever his name is, Matt Turner. Listen, big up all of them. I'm excited about the young. Well, I wouldn't say excited, but I'm excited. For all I know, I've never seen them. Like, I haven't got informed opinions. Of course, I go on the YouTube and that, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's for Hector Bellerin. Hopefully he gets his move. In terms of Ruben Neves, who Arsenal's links, I feel have kind of gone quiet with Ruben Neves. It don't seem like if it was Barcelona for a sec. It seems like it went over to City. I once again shout out Sneaks for the cheering the bits on Twitch, which is basically a super chat. Apparently, Wolves are realistic over Ruben Neves, people. Wolves expect lots of interest in Ruben Neves this summer and are realistic about the chances of the Portuguese midfielder remaining at the club, people. Apparently, Scott Sellers said the ideal situation is we want him to stay, but I'm also realistic that when you've got an outstanding player, then the top clubs are going to come and try to see what the situation is. So yeah, man, it is what it is. He also spoke about Adama. Ultimately, Adama doesn't want to sign a new contract. The Barca move did not bang. Bit harsh. Wolves are getting rid of Sace. But he's a good serviceman there. Apparently, Torreira tells Arsenal he wants to return to Fiorentina. Tell these broke guys get their P's up then. Or you know, we heard that you didn't agree to the terms. You and your agent, you know, you got to give or take, really, really, really and truly, you know. Maybe you have to concede, I'm going to earn a lot less, but I'm going to be happy. Do your thing. I love Lucas Torreira as a footballer, but I don't want to fucking hear your name ever again connected to Arsenal. I would like for you to have an opportunity. I do find it weird how Arteta, it's well known Arteta just doesn't rate you as a player and he rates El Nene, so I don't know why, but it is what it is. Torreira's told Arsenal that he wants to return to Fiorentina this summer. Why not, man? You know, it's always drama connected with this guy. Your transfer is always drawn out. Get your agent to flip and earn their P's. My intention is to stay at Fiorentina, but it will be necessary for the club to find an agreement with Arsenal. I'm perfectly fine in Florence and I'm fine in Italy. It was a very positive year, even if we failed to qualify for Europa League. Perhaps we deserved something more, but in the end, when you lose games, it means that you did not do everything you could do. Sometimes you must accept that opponents may be superior. Much credit goes to the coach who made me feel important to the team. Personally, I feel very loved by the teammates and fans. And when you have confidence in your means and feel trust from people around you, everything goes for the best. All these conditions help me to make it to the top and reach my goals, my record for goals in a season. Big up you, man. Pattern that. Stay over them sides. Why not go in and do what you need to do, really and truly? Apparently, hella reports are saying the same thing, people. Aaron Hickey is close to Arsenal transfer with Hearts set to land percentage of the 21 million fee. Arsenal are closing on a deal for Aaron Hickey. Obviously, he's being chased by a number of clubs, Brentford, Newcastle, AC Milan, etc., etc. People will have to realistically, where Hickey and Gab Jesus are concerned, whether they sign for Arsenal or go elsewhere, we're probably not going to learn too much, at least until Scotland know if they're in the World Cup or not, and in which if Aaron Hickey on you know, going to Arsenal can enhance or boost your chances. You're probably going to be a rotation second choice, bearing in mind he can play on the right-hand side. And Gab Jesus, obviously, Brazil got some things to be dealing with as well. Arsenal are pushing hard to get a deal for Hickey over the line. And apparently Bologna have accepted losing him. But it's all right. You signed him for 1.5 million. You're making 21 million euros. Obviously, you got to give Hart some of the P's. But you're making some decent P's, man. It's making sense. Y'all can keep Lucas. Fiorentina don't want him. I mean, he's got to go somewhere. You know, it's not going to work. Didn't work out. Arsenal didn't work out. Atletico Madrid. Went to Italy doing your thing, really. So why not? As you can see here, kind of confirming the same thing. Arsenal closing in on 21.75 move for Bologna defender Aaron Hickey. Now, again, until I hear medical, personal terms, fees been agreed. To me, as an ignorant fan, it doesn't seem like we're close. But hopefully, I's can be dotted, T's can be crossed. Arsenal are closing in on a deal to sign Bologna fullback Aaron Hickey with a 21.75 move said to be very likely. That with a pinch of salt. So again, you know, just kind of reiterates what we're seeing here, people. So hopefully we can bring him into the club. We already spoke about that. We spoke about this yesterday, but as you know, William Saliba, you know, faces interest from Atletico Madrid, Newcastle, and Leicester. I'm kind of tired of speaking about him. If he wants to go. If you want to give him a chance, show him why he should be given a chance. The man is in French Team of the Year, Young Player of the Year, called up by France. Got a lot to work on, but has had a very productive loan spell, done everything he could be asked. I can't begrudge him for even wanting to go back to Marseille to stay there, because you know where you stand with the manager. You know you're going to play. You know, you're under the eye of and all the talking points in France and things. But as a selfish Arsenal fan, I think we could do a lot worse. Shitter players have been given an opportunity, you know, at this club. Marie, Holding, even though they're squad players, they've been given opportunities, not done anything with it. Mustafi initially, you know. I like Ben White. I don't advocate spending 50 million on him. At best, I hope that he shows that it's not even worth talking about it, but he's not better. None of them three centre-halves are clear of each other. Gabriel's not clear of Saliba and Ben White. Ben White's definitely not clear of them, and Saliba's not clear of them. They're all at the same sort of stage, which is why he should have a fair crack at an opportunity to bust through the team. really and truly, in my opinion. But what do I know? So we'll have to see. And I'm a bit tired speaking about that. But yeah, man, tomorrow it'll be AC Milan again, etc., etc. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's stance on joining Man United, Arsenal, and Newcastle. People, apparently he'd be open to the idea of leaving the Toffees to join Man United, Arsenal, or Newcastle ahead of next season. People, the 25-year-old is said to have no shortage of external interest in his services, and seems as though a change of scenery could be soon on the cards. Now, hopefully he'd be available for a cut price, because he never had the best of season. But yeah, apparently Newcastle are weighing up a move. United and Arsenal have long been credited. Unless Arsenal don't get a number one of these, a number of the names we've been linked with, then I think we'll go for Calvert-Lewin. And Man United the same. I think they'll go for Darwin Núñez and these guys, and then entertain that. I'm surprised they haven't linked Chelsea with these lot, because they need a forward. And I don't think Chelsea are going for him. They're going to need to get Lukaku off the books, probably bring in Lautaro Martinez or someone that they've been linked with, and then look at it. I won't be against Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's got more to his game than giving credit for. I do think there's a role for him to have here. But as the main striker, it's a myth. I'm more open to Dominic Calvert-Lewin than when we first was linked with him. Not really my cup of tea and things like that. But yeah, man, it is what it is. But you're not getting 50 plus million for him, really. But it is what it is. Apparently, Ben Foster wants to play for Arsenal. Could you imagine? We already got all or nothings coming out. Come on, could you imagine the game he plays? If Liverpool City batter us, come on, flipping hell! What? There was no stopping that goal from Mo Salah. Allow it. I've seen how this guy moves for what. If I was a Watford fan, he would pee me off. I like the fact that he's got a channel. I like everything Ben Foster's doing, but purely from a footballing point of view, this guy would pee me off. Could you imagine getting battered and then he's going up to Salah? Oh, how did you put that in? Come on, man. Like, you're just here to be part of the lads. That's dead. You need to be playing for #United and doing up the YouTube thing now, playing for AFTVFC. That's as close as getting to Arsenal. I can't lie. I'm happy you get big up Ali, the goalie at Wrongans. But if Ali ain't fit and he's working and things, Ben Foster, come, man. You show you can do it in the Prem. Can you do it on a cold Sunday morning and then fill playing fields, mate? So, yeah, it is what it is, people. You just want to run bants with Ramsdale and things. Signing done, not that it will ever happen. Signing Foster would set the wrong precedent at the club, man. It's a joke thing, really, if we was doing that. So, yeah, man, let's leave that one there, innit, really. Arsenal named as only real buyers for midfielder. 3 names already analysed for potential swaps. This is Juventus and Arsenal. I'm pretty sure. Let me guess without looking. Gabriel, Partey and Martinelli are the names being linked. As you can see, Arthur Melo still doing the rounds here. Again, the player is interested in moving to London. Arsenal are interested in him. Mikel Arteta probably trying to explore other options, people. Apparently, the Italian publication says that while the player is worth nearly 50 million euros, not sure about that, maybe half. I know there's been questionable how he got to Juventus and that whole swap deal with him and Pjanic. I'd entertain Pjanic on loan as well. The Serie A giants evaluate potential swaps to sort his departure soon, and with Arsenal claimed to be the only real buyers for him, the old lady already analysed the possibility of landing some names such as Martinelli, which, again, I wouldn't advocate none of this, so this is all a myth. Juventus Martinelli swap as Arsenal target Arthur Melo, as you can see here. It's probably a myth, and no, just no. No. What's this? This has linked us with Neto, who apparently Edu wanted to bring in instead of Ramsdale, which is a myth. We could be interested in hiring him. Obviously, there's the links between him and this guy's going to want decent money. There's no point bringing this guy to the carpet. It just does not make sense and sets the wrong precedent. What's this? Arsenal news. Arsenal's chances of convincing William Saliba to stay has become a little more challenging, with Marseille cleared to make signings for the summer, so they're not under a transfer ban. It's not. No one cares about that. Have they got the bread to put on the table? If they've got the bread, have your man. If not, safe. Enough said. Fiorentina we're struggling to sell Pablo Mari, Torreira, all of this. Torreira, we're eager for you to go as well. So yeah, man. His agent has casted doubt. There was a contractual problem with Fiorentina. My priority is to find an agreement with them, so he's not thinking about other teams for now. It's not over yet, but the chances of Lucas staying in Florence are very slim. Why? Ramsdale said Jamie Vardy's a tough opponent. Arsenal in the race for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Pickford's gassing up Ramsdale. You know, meow, 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 meow. Mr. Kurt Zuma's avoiding. He's going to have to hold it, people. Mauricio Pochettino's son is gone, much like Gasper's son over here. Arsenal and Man United target Talisio is a free transfer. And again, with our injury record, it don't make sense. And apparently Arsenal are in the fight to sign Decore. You know, the Lens brother, he's decent. I'd rather go Palace and play on the Vieira if I was him, despite Arsenal's prestige. But yeah, man, doesn't seem like there's anything groundbreaking or new here, people, really and truly. So with that, I think that's the transfer news, isn't it? Really and truly. Doesn't seem like there's anything else. Let me have a little butchers again. So yeah, man, unless it's Gnabry, Jesus, Tielemans, you know, of Arthur Melo here, give it a couple of days, we'll be linked again with Our and that. But apart from them names there, it's looking a slow news day, really and truly, where nothing really is going down. You know, Martinelli's been linked and stuff. Apparently, Bayern are hoping that by signing Sadio Mane, Serge Gnabry would notice that his starting spot is under threat and would agree to being sold this summer. Fair play. Apparently, many top clubs are after Gabriel Jesus, but the team that is in pole position is Arsenal. Apparently, Bellerin has said, the only thing I know is that I have to go back to England and we'll see. I'm sad to leave Betis. Well, you, Torreira, all of you are going to have to rock up for a couple of weeks at London Coley and then fuck off. I can't imagine, you know, again, I think if I'm, you know, where are we going on holiday this summer, pre-season? We're going to America. Bellerin, Torreira, you lot should all get left at home. You know, you can play with the 23s and sort out your futures, really. And I think that's what will happen, people. Apparently, the Athletic on Gnabry links. I've not heard anything to suggest that's going to happen. So it's a pipe dream. Apparently, Gabriel complained of discomfort and didn't participate in training with Brazil today, and he'll be assessed by team doctors. Hopefully, that is nothing too serious. So yeah, it seems a dead news day, really. So yeah, apparently a Brazilian journalist said many top clubs are on Gabriel Jesus, but the one in pole position is Arsenal, and the player wants to leave Manchester City. Jesus is very close to signing with the Gunners. He's very suited to English football. He wants to stay in England, and Arsenal want to make a good offer. So Arsenal will probably take on Gabriel Jesus, who lost his place with Brazil in recent months. Arsenal are ready to make a great offer, perhaps even for 50 to 60 million euros, and are in pole position, people. James McNicholas said, I would love Gnabry at Arsenal, but I don't see that as a realistic outcome. I've not heard anything to suggest that's going to happen, people. Apparently, Arsenal and Chelsea are the chief competitors for Everton striker Richarlison, who obviously is considering his future over there at Goodison Park. Whether these guys sign for the club, as you know, is completely subjective. Probably does not happen. Half of the rumours are nonsense, which I always say to you lot. We're talking about it and purely nothing more, people, really and truly. In fact, there was an article on The Athletic that I wanted to read with you guys, people. Our physio team sucks. Afternoon. Members, please make sure you're asking your questions. I see Cam, I see RK there. Please make sure you're going on the YouTube community tab and getting your questions in. I wanted to see what this was saying, people. Big up my guy, Art DeRose. Arsenal striker search comparing Jesus, Osimhen, and others on Arteta's shortlist, people. I'm scrolling all the way down. You know, it's well documented. We've at times been linked with Tammy, Calvert-Lewin, Osimhen, Martinez, Shamaka, etc. Apparently, these lot are looking at stuff using charts. The first thing what we know about Gab is one of the best pressing forwards and system strikers in the world, as his manager at club and country level say. But in terms of goals, he's not really that. So I can see why it attracts Arteta. Pardon me. The first thing to say about Jesus is the most of his footballing last season did not come as a centre forward, which if he gets an opportunity, maybe he scores. City often deployed a strikerless system, and the 25-year-old carved out a role for himself on the right-hand side. As you can see, 37% of his opportunities, or better yet, is 1,860 minutes came on the right-hand side, people. So, yeah. So it's unlikely he'd provide an option if Saka needs resting and whatnot, but it's unlikely to expect him to be there. Nevertheless, looking at his output last season from right wing, you can see how much he contributed to City's attack. His expected goals from shot creation, his rating is 87 out of 99, and just how well he... Similarly, his work rate off the ball will certainly be attractive to Arteta. And obviously, defensively, I mean, we see how he's used with Lacazette. We know all of this, you know. We can do all of this. We know all of this. We know Jesus can do all of this. It's just, can he do all of this and score goals? Because it's not the same, but this is what allowed Lacazette, because he done all of this but didn't score goals. Statistics wouldn't have been kind in this, but he scored goals. We kind of need to marry both together. Looking at his shot pitch, so again, yeah, not really had much to work with there. And as you can see, low quality chances, really, to high quality. His goals, however, came when popping up in more central areas. We know that. Apparently, a non-penalty expected goal of 0.48 per 90 is nevertheless very good. The 10th best in the Premier League among players with over 500 minutes game time. So, yeah, I mean, these things show you a bit more positive. There's a trend here. Expected goals in each of the past 4 years. So that might not be something. Again, if he has a platform to play, then he might do something different. DJ, I know it's fine on Twitch, but you can't play a YouTube comp on here while streaming on YouTube, right? Me at 4:45, 15 minutes before kickoff. It's final business where the under-17s European Championship is concerned. So, yeah, we know this about Gabrizis, that he works hard from wide areas. Dominic Calvert-Lewin now. You know, obviously he's affected by injuries. He played just over 1/3 of available minutes this season. When it comes to assessing his threat, it's perhaps more representative to look at his shot map. His shot map for last season, as we said, based on specifically fewer minutes, but the story is the same. Put the ball near the opposition penalty box and Dominic Calvert-Lewin will be there to shoot. So he's someone that will come alive in the area, people. We'd have to see. So, yeah, that's that. Have to see how that one develops as well. The 25-year-old Yorkshireman is a player who thrives in the 12 yards directly in front of goal. Well, we want our striker to do that. Perhaps his greatest value to Arsenal, though, would be in offering an ability to change up the way they play. Of course, you can smack the ball at his head, you can hit it into his chest, and he can play ball. It's not amazing, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a better player than a lot of people are giving him credit for, and myself included. Not my cup of tea, not the first choice. People. So, yeah, you can, I'm trying to scroll through the waffle. Tammy Abraham, we know he is interested in him. He was often isolated up front and used in quite a direct fashion, hence his low ratings for link-up play. I actually feel his link-up play and his variety of movement has improved a lot, but it probably won't be kind to him statistically. Obviously, the way Jose deploys you is different. Like you can see, working the channels, making that runs. Still a lot to go from Tammy Abraham, but I wouldn't be against whatever in it, but he's going to cost a pretty penny. So, yeah. His shot map demonstrates that the quality of his average shots is quite high. 0 point expected goal per shot is a 20% chance of scoring with a given shot on average. Like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he thrives off those characteristic poacher goals, either in the 6-yard box or the second 6-yard box just beyond that. Abraham is powerful, tall, and an awkward shape for centre halves he's up against. It makes him very difficult to deal with. And again, it's showing you the example. I mean, we don't need fancy heat maps and these things to show us that someone that's 6 foot plus should be good with his back to goal or be able to do a thing. Despite his good goal scoring record, it's interesting to know Abraham undershot expected goals this season. And I don't want to give him Serie A tax, but Fabio Capello said Tammy Abraham, Osimhen, Lukaku, what does it say about the level of a country that's labeled as the best defenders, that these lot have come to Italy and scored goals? Or Immobile went to Bundesliga, it should be easier to score goals than in Italy, and was a bagsman, and he's had indifferent times in Italy. So, yeah, that gives me confidence that Tammy could do a lot more if he has to shoot people. He undershot. His expected goals suggest he has chances worthy of 18.3 non-penalty goals, but he finished with a still respectable 14. In most cases, Arsenal must weigh a striker's capacity to generate chances against clinical finishing. While Abraham be complicated, Chelsea have an 80 million euros buyback clause, and they've probably got a healthy percentage. take it, man. Really and truly. So yeah, Shamaka, who we've been linked with, he seems to, be open to just staying in Italy at this moment in time. It is what it is. He does score all different sorts of goals, people. 6'4". He's got good link-up play, which is slightly less than the others. Maybe it's the club he plays for, but 79 out of 99. It is what it is. I like how he likes to run in behind. He likes to attack that space, as this is about to show. This Raspadoni guy is quite decent as well. He's very cultured and he does play on instinct. Last season, he had non-expected penalties, expected goals out of 10, but he outscored it with 15 non-penalty goals. 3 of those known with good movement to get 3 of his markers. He seems like someone that's just going to join the ACs, the Inters, and all of them sort of teams there, really. So I wouldn't say Arsenal are gonna go for Donny, but where there's a will, there's a way, I guess. No. So yeah, we'd have to see. Lautaro Martinez, we know he's lit. And it says the same thing, people. We know with Lautaro Martinez, it's just there's only been a couple of seasons he scored 20 plus, and he's still chasing a season of 20 in the league. He hasn't got too many of them. He scored 18 from open play. We know this guy's quality, man. We know he's got a variety of goals. I mean, if Lautaro could arrive, why not? And we know Osimhen's sick as well. Like, looking at the aspects of their game that held Arsenal back last season, obviously, well, we know awareness in a striker to score goals is an issue. Crazy. Osimhen also has the pace, strength, and composure to keep up with and then finish counterattacks. And he can obviously operate as a lone striker. All 14 of his non-penalty league goals came from inside the box, so he sniffs chances, but he needs it laid on him. Apparently, similar to Martinez, Osimhen does not play those short, sharp passes to a nearby opponent very often, which may be an area of development, clear area of development, because you've seen it with Lacazette to a degree, even Aubameyang with the goal he scored against Spurs. And actually, Eddie, Arteta demands that of you, really, really and truly. Lautaro, the dream, Jesus, the reality. Probably, I'll be surprised if we do anything past that, really. 269, 20 odd more likes, people. Come on, man. So, yeah. And it's name dropped Eddie Nketiah. And again, out of all them names, I would say Osimhen's a myth because Napoli, you have to give the bag. He's not listed, but Isak's a myth because his form's shaky. He's not worth, I feel, what Sociedad want. And that's really a myth. Who returns to Inter, then that's different. But Lautaro Martinez, they probably don't want to let him go. Pardon me. We ain't got Champions League football. Obviously, Tammy, you got to spend a bag, but I think it's fairly attainable. The same goes for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I don't know why I didn't list Martinez, but it is what it is, man. So yeah, that's that. We finished the transfer news thing, but I thought, why not extend that slightly? So yeah, that's that where the transfers are concerned, people. Let's change that to transfer news. Yeah, that's that. Shamaka more likely. No, I don't think so. I would argue Jesus is the same quality as Martinez. Can we just get some deals confirmed? Tired of being linked with all these men all the time. You think Nketiah and Jesus as our main strikers next season is enough to get the amount of goals we want? No, I hope so. But I mean, neither player has a record for scoring nowhere near the amount of goals that we need, bro. I'm just betting on Jesus has a platform. As we just saw, he predominantly played up front on the right-hand side, plays up front. He might give you some change, but I don't know. Eddie's done well with his opportunities, and we've given them both an extended platform. Maybe they score, but if you ain't got the CV, then it's a bit of a myth. And obviously, I'm betting on their potential the same way I'm hoping Saka, Smith Rowe potentially keep scoring. Martin Odegaard got 7 in the league, I think. Can you get 10 and 10 goals, 10 assists? Martinelli, can you get 10 goals in the league minimum? So you're probably making up the difference. That's why, on top of it just being a euphoric signing for the fans, Gnabry would have helped us, especially if we're not going to sign 2 strikers, which we was led to believe, even 2 strikers regardless of Eddie. But now it feels like it's 1 striker and 1. So probably not, but I hope to be wrong. Like at this moment in time, I don't know how you could sit there and say expects to do that, really. So yeah, man. It's a bit of a myth. Let me scroll all the way up, man. What about Haller? Just based on how he was last time in the Prem, myth, man. He's shown he can score goals in Germany and in Holland, but I would say forget about that one. No, you can't. I don't know if you heard me, Ross, but you can't play. I can't, not on YouTube. I can't do that. Perisic is going to look like how William was to Arsenal. I don't know about that. What else are you lot saying? We are the third biggest team in England. We shouldn't be struggling in signing big names, but no Champions League, no big players. I just want the right players now, man. I just want the right players. It don't matter. Just Pepe out, Jesus in. I think regardless of Pepe's future, we were going for Jesus, and I don't think Jesus' future impacts really. I mean, the market's not until the market's done. I'll shut my mouth. But yeah, man, if you're a Spurs fan, you're excited right now. I mean, and an Arsenal fan, you're a bit agitated. But let's give, as I say, I'll give the club the luxury of the whole month or so. If the window closes and things aren't done, then yeah, I can get onto them. How realistic is Gnabry? I know we ain't in the Champions League, but if he likes the club as much as it seems, surely you join and help us get back. I mean, love and wanting the club is not enough, but I would love it to be. I don't think there's a chance of Gnabry at all, really. It's just a dream, really. Really. If I'm completely honest with you, like, I just think it's that. Then they better lower their wage demands, Bellerin and Torreira. I hear that. Shout American Gooner as well. I mean, the Moroccan lad that's at Sevilla, I didn't really think much of him, so it's a myth. Why choose Palace over Arsenal? Because you're more likely to play in the Vieira aspect, really. I mean, I don't really care for big names. I want the right players. I wouldn't say we went out and grabbed any big names, but I just want the right players. You know, how many big signings or signings of players that people rate have people waffled about and then they've been meaty? Just we're at the stage we need to just deal with what we're dealing with first. I can't even lie. I'd love Tarkowski on a free and make a profit on holding. Fair enough. William Robin clubs, nothing new. Afternoon, DG. What do you think of Fabian Ruiz's contract issues? I mean, he's someone that if there's a small chance of coming to Arsenal, we need to get it done. But I can't see it happening, man. You know, at least not while he's exhausted the more creme de la creme options. Have a bit more optimism, man. Tammy's clear. Marseille ain't got the bread. Until I see any player wearing the shirt, to me, they're not coming. I've been let down too many transfer windows and been told we're getting our first choice players just to get our third choice. Paredes, once upon a time, would have bust him at this club, but yeah, man, he's looking a myth. Arteta destroyed Pepe emotionally. I can't comment because I don't know what they said. I mean, he's technical director / director of football, so he has a hand in transfers. So Eddie's gonna have to show you. No, I wouldn't consider Ziyech. At least they can return to the carpet. I say return, come to the carpet. Would you sign Gilmore, Loftus-Cheek if Chelsea are willing to sell? I'd rather Gilmore, but I don't think they're going to sell him. We need more foundation and some quality, though. We need to see how much we got. If it's 150 million, we would need more. Spend correctly, man. I know Martinez is no Aguero, but when he was at Atletico, he played in a 2 and started to learn as a lone striker. It's an excuse saying he plays in a 2 by Arsenal. I hear that. Gnabry would be like Alexis. Completely different, but I see where you're going. I don't know where you're on there. What's good, bro? Do you think Pepe was treated unfairly this season? I think he was harshly treated by Arteta at times, but at the same time, when things are working, it is what it is. Bellerin's still on the payroll for another year, man. I don't know if it's realistic to get that Frankfurt Donny, and I don't think I'd be going for him, really. No, I wouldn't take Tossart. Great player, but he doesn't improve us, really. And for what? He's a technical base player. We got Smith Rowe and Odegaard. Like, bring me some centre mids. I think Martinez is the right move. He's a good striker. He can set people up and score himself. I think he's the man. Gnabry should want to come if he likes the club as much as it seems. Bro, liking and loving is not the same. You can like whatever you want, bro. Like, he's 26 years of age, bro. Like, like Real Madrid, Arsenal, there's no contest. Like, come on now. Even that, like, again, if Liverpool were onto you, if City were onto you, if Chelsea were onto you, I'm not saying he's going to pick any of them teams above us, but you've got a decision to make with no emotion. And when you look at it with no emotion, it probably casts to move to not pick for Arsenal. Respectfully, Chelsea or Arsenal, I'm an Arsenal man through and through. I'd probably pick Chelsea. They've won the Champions League more recent. I don't know for their new owner, but there's a bit more expectation on them than it is at us, really and truly. You know, looking at it harsh, we lost 3-0. The managers being names being chanted. They've won the Champions League more recent. They've won the league more recent. Liverpool, I don't need to break down why that's a more attractive proposition than Arsenal. City the same. You know, Real Madrid the same. There are reasons to want to sign for Arsenal. You've got unfinished business. You know, Mikel Arteta, the London aspect, the feeling of importance and being the main man where you're just going to be one of the main men at Real Madrid or Bayern Munich and things. You probably get a decent wage and a decent length of contract, but it don't make sense. You know, liking the club, loving the club, all that jazz is that's as far as it goes. You need a lot more than that. You know, love ain't enough. Cesc loved the club. He still went and signed for Chelsea because Arsenal moving iffy. Cesc loved Barcelona. Still did everything he could in 2006 to win that game. It don't make sense, man. Pepe, just move on, man. I mean, if it's up to me, I'm not selling Saliba, innit? I mean, whether Pepe was used rightly, wrongly, not used, I'll be real. I don't care. I don't care. Like, just done it off now, innit? Pepe, keep it moving. Arteta, keep it moving. We'll speak about it, but that's it, man. Listen, underused, using him. Some people say he's not been used. He was underused. We should play more direct. Should have given him an opportunity up front. None of these things are necessarily right or wrong, but me personally, we're at where we're at. He's got a new agent. He's contracted until 2024, the same length of time as Saliba, Martinelli, and Saka. You've heard contract talks or the aspirations of Arsenal to engage in contract talks with them. Nothing with Pepe. 72 million pound man can't get near the lineup. It is what it is. Writing on the wall, man. It's safe. I said the same. I'd question Gnabry's ambition if he signed for us over them clubs there. And that's not me being harsh. It's a fact. What? Arteta chats ish. A summer ago, we was linked with Ronaldo and Lewandowski. Man, I ain't getting hyped until I see hot man holding shirts. I didn't see no Lewandowski or Cristiano Ronaldo links. But I hear you. I'd put my emotions aside if I was being... I mean, I wouldn't... in some games, man. Like, for what I will say, like, I think you should play a lot more. You're just not trustworthy. Coming on the pitch and doing mad stuff. And people always talk about a run of games. That's true, but run of games for who? Is he done better than Martinelli? Has he done better than Smith Rowe? Does he take... I agree, there could have been times Saka could have been pulled out of the squad, but then again, we need to get 3 points. I agree, there could have been an avenue to play him up front, but I'm not even for that. Pepe would give you the same end product as Jesus. Only difference is Jesus looks busy. I don't know. I do think Pepe is all right in front of goal. As I said, I think he should play a lot more, but we're at where we're at, man. Like, it is what it is. The writing is on the wall. Just keep it moving, man. It is just a media creation. And that's why I always say it's just a talking point. We need competition in the squad, bro. Danjuma would be lit, but I can't see it happening. If the balance is done right, Bellerin back, Torreira, Saliba, 2 of them 3 names, it's a myth. Torreira, Saliba, want him to be part of it. If it wasn't for all the other stuff with Torreira, would love him to be part of it. Bellerin, come on now. It's time to go, man. It's time to go. You, Maitland-Niles, Cedric, you know, if I could, there's a lot of players that would have to keep it moving. 10 more likes until we've hit 300 people. What are you lot doing? One love for that. Hour would be available for pennies. So many Reds under Arteta. Discipline kills the team at times, not going to lie. Well, it's not exactly 72 million. It was variables that could have went up there. But sorry, but I said it wasn't going to have work. You know, anyone that was watching Pepe, he had a good 18 months. You were never the guy. The football intelligence, the IQ, it's not there. I'm still not convinced about Tomiyasu being first choice. I am, but it's not a thing where... it's undeniable, it's understated and whatnot. If you could bring in someone that's got qualities the same as him and able maybe to do more in an attacking sense, why not? Thoughts on Berardi? Leave it alone. Arteta should sell Martinez or Gnabry the dream trust. Sell them the maddest of dreams. Loftus-Cheek is good, but again, I think a fit Loftus-Cheek, similar to Joe Gomez, they threaten places in the England squad. But for us, you know, that struggled with injuries, do I really want to, not that I waffle about injuries, do I really want to bet on players that can't stay fit and players that need a bit of love, that need a platform? You know, we've lost his cheek. He needs to probably leave Chelsea if he's not going to play week in, week out and start his career. We've got dons like that. I'd rather go with people that I know what I'm going to get out of it. But yeah, Loftus-Cheek has the profile, but yeah, Sammy. I like Gnabry. I mean, not Gnabry. Someone said Gnabry be lit. Lamptey be lit, but it don't seem like it happens. DG, you ain't stressing on transfers till the window's over. Pepe failed himself. The players failed himself. I mean, what can you say? You've had two coaches, you know. Fair enough. One wanted Zaha. Should have still got something out of Pepe. Arteta, clearly you're allowed to not rate Pepe. Like, I think Pepe saved his bacon on a couple of occasions, but Pepe's failed himself. You know, he keeps talking about the language barrier. You ain't learned the language barrier. There's, you know, it's not just either or. There's the managers have done him dirty at times, but there's things Pepe could have taken control of. When he signed for this club, his own dad said he needs to take football not more seriously, but needs to understand it. And I don't think he has. We're at where we're at. I don't think it's necessarily on the coaches or the players solely. It's everything. Again, back to this, Denver. Why would I stress about something I can't control? I can be peed off about Arsenal's transfers. I can be annoyed, but what I can't control it. If I could, we would be talking about signings, and I'll cut the club the lottery. As much as I get peed off about not bringing in players early and things, I don't work for Arsenal Football Club. In theory, I don't know what conversations we are or aren't having with players. So I always say I'll shut my mouth to the end of the window. When the window's done and things have or haven't been brought in, then I can open my mouth. I can't change anything. But this is why it just stays as a talking point. You know, we talk about these transfers and that's it. I can't do nothing more than that, my dude. If I'm honest, every manager's got favorites, bro. Every manager's got favorites. He didn't ride for Pepe the same way he rides for pause for Willian, is what I would say. I do look at Arteta funny, but he just not convinced by Pepe, clearly, rightly or wrongly. So just nip it in the bud. As you look, I'm tired of these stories. Torreira, Bellerin, Ainsley, Pepe, Saliba. Whoever wants to stay, stay. Whoever doesn't, cut. Simple as that. The club's gonna be here. You know, broke my heart. Cried beer tears when Henry left. I'm still alive. Cried when Vieira left. I'm still alive. You know, tear when Wenger left. I'm still alive. The world is gonna keep spinning. You know, it is what it is. Whoever wants to stay, stay. If you want to cut, cut. So yeah, man. It is what it is. Not begging no one to stay here. If you want to stay, stay. If you want to cut, cut. What can we do? Really, past that. 307 likes, people. Appreciate that. I don't know how. How can we say we're gonna get top 4 if Pepe started more? What's Pepe gonna do? Now, there's been times Pepe's been good, times he's been shit. Maybe if we signed a striker, maybe if this and that, I can only deal with the facts we didn't. You know, it's always the one that isn't involved or the player that isn't playing. That's the Messiah. Appreciate that, F1. It's a myth, man. We might have, but I can only deal with what's in front of us. In it, I can ask the question, and for me, if you bring in a centre mid and a striker in January, we've got it, people. But we didn't do that, did we? So it is what it is. I can only deal with what's in front of me. The dream is free. The hustle sold separately, man. Exactly. Let's cut the crap. Pepe is an extremely frustrating player. Pepe is a player that is very emotional in the sense of you can't. For me, he's just a player you have to just treat as a free spirit. You just let him do what he wants. Tactically, he's probably. I actually feel Arteta has improved him defensively, but it's just you can't trust him tactically. You definitely can't trust him off the bench and things. He's clearly a player that needs to start getting the groove of things. But for who? Large part of it, Smith Rowe and Saka were doing their thing. He's clearly not convinced in Pepe as a player, as a person, what he's doing in training, etc. And that, you know, Pepe deserves to go and play. Go and play somewhere. Go and continue your life. It hasn't worked. So what? It just didn't work out at a football team. You won a couple of trophies here. It's a myth, man. You know, it's football. You didn't kill no one. It didn't work out at the club. Go play. Your life's still going to continue. You've got a family. You know, you're earning big money where it sets your kids up for the future. But it's a game of football. As much as football means the world to me, it's not that deep. Like, it didn't work out at a club. Go join another one. Simple, man. I wouldn't say Tomiyasu's a risk. I think, you know, if you're talking educated risk, you're signing players that are clearly good. By all means, make that happen, innit? Like, it's not rocket science. Sign better players. That maybe if they break the bank, why not? All or nothing was all or nothing, literally, and nothing. Shout footy chats. Bruv, I'm not here for it, bro. We've been here too much, bro. Like, for Pepe, I do think he's been done dirty, but you've been managed under 2 man now. There's got to be something you're not doing. In the same way, I don't necessarily think Xhaka should be starting week in, week out. And I could be cynical and sit here and say, maybe that's why Arsene Wenger, Emre, and currently Arteta haven't got back in the holy grail of the Champions League. But then there's got to be a reason, rightly or wrongly, why he's starting. There's got to be something. You can't look at Arteta and Pepe. You can't look at Pepe as just a villain. You can't look at Arteta as a villain, which it's in the middle. Only we would know. In my guess, how and where, I don't know, but he'll be moved on, or you should be aspiring to move on. If not, boy, he's too exactly pure instinct. Sometimes he confuses himself. DG, would you swap Pepe for Zaha? Straight swap on current form? Yeah, the fuck? Tomorrow, blood. One thing I don't think I think Pepe is a confidence player. I think when I look at people like Zaha and Maddison and these sort of guys, I think we need a bit more level-headed dons at Arsenal Football Club. It genuinely looks like when form's going well, rightly so, in a place of work, it's the place to be. People start trying things. People, we're there. We're like, bloody hell, I didn't know he had that pass in him. Likewise, when things are going wrong, everybody's playing bad. I think you need to get in that scenario where hold yourself accountable. If you had a good game, great. If you played bad, it is what it is. But you're not getting gassed. Like with every good game, you don't think you're the best thing in the world. With every bad game, you don't think you're the most terrible. I think we need them level-headed ones. And pardon my language, Zaha's a bastard. He's on rattling the fans. He's on rattling players. He's on twisting man up. Like, we need dons that believe in themselves. Madders the same. Like, the man believe in themselves. We need some see you next Tuesday. Some bastards were too nice and that, And the guys that are a bit mad like that, they're too mad to that point where they're risking red cards and you might not play them. We need a bit more like that. And that kind of ties into just needing some street smart individuals, in my opinion. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. That arrogance, that necessary arrogance. Bro, some man lose their heads. But even Zaha, respectfully, some of the bullshit he does at Crystal Palace, we get mad at Arsenal. Some of the things he does, especially his penalty taking at times, we'll get mad. It's a bit like Grealish at Villa. You can do no wrong. They love you for it. Really, really and truly. I hear you, brother. But the worst signing we done in the last window is Nuno Tavares. I watched our last game against Everton. The guy couldn't even put a crossing with his left foot. I'm sorry, but I told man Tavares weren't going to work out. It was sounding booked. A defender who's not listing a defensive quality when asked about his strengths. He played 20, 30 odd times for Benfica, so he was going to have to relearn things. He clearly looked like someone who's gone through a footballing academy at 16. His coaches have said, you're not going to make the grade as a winger, you're becoming a fullback. He's learning how to defend. He's unlearning and learning bad habits. He's learning to switch. He doesn't think like a defender. That's why he's never narrow when you need to be and tucking in, and he has to consistently be coached through the game, really and truly. I think Tavares loaned that out. I don't think he's a bad player. I just feel obviously it's heart attacks, really and truly. Even his best of games against Chelsea and Man United, you're still there like, oh, what's going on there? So for me, can we just get someone that understands being a fullback? Let him go out on loan, try turn that 8 million into 16. If he comes back a better player, great. We might say, whoa, it is, but I like Tavares. You're just a madman. And that's why I don't really get onto Tavares, because sometimes you can see dons are shit. Like, if you can see certain men are not good enough or certain men are not of a thing, then I can't really get angry at you. It's like Cedric, when Cedric and Marie and all these dons, even El Nene to a degree, as much as I like him, when these lot are limited or show their limitations and things, I don't really get vexed at them. I get vexed when fans try rewrite history. I get vexed at the club for relying on them, but at them, you've never did it. You've never did it. So like Lacazette, since you've come here, your best season's 15 league goals. I can't, shout out to you for that season, but past that, you could see why Arsene Wenger had misgivings about signing him, sort of thing. It's like I can't really get mad at these guys. Like, the guys that I get angry at are the only ones I have expectations on. That's why I will criticize fairly the Martinellis, the Sakas, the Gabriels. to a degree, Ben White, Ramsdale, and Odegaard. It goes without saying. There's not too many players in that Arsenal team I have expectation on. And like you heard me say, more time, Mr. Young Tugs, where they're already just pulling this team through the mud alone, really and truly. And they deserve all the praise they get. We need Lacazette's experience. He's leaving, but Laca's been experienced. Cedric's been experienced. Marie technically is experienced. You know, Bellerin has experience. You know, I'm forcing it, but Ainsley has experience. You know, even when I look at some of the recruitment, it's not the biggest of experience, but Ramsdale's been playing in the Prem for a minute. Ben White's gone on loan in the Championship and been at Brighton and Leeds. You know, it's not the most experience. Odegaard's young but had experience. You know, it's the right thing. For me, more important than experience, we need to look at the temperament of the players we're going to get. Tavares, but you know, he probably does get a tune out of Tavares, but Tavares will show his limitations. To be fair, just like with Emerson and Doherty, he's getting a tune out of it. But Conte is not Arsenal manager, so I can't waffle about that. Arteta is. Unless I wake up, I'll be genuinely amazed if there's. I will say sorry to the Vise if there's ever reality where genuinely you're a competent option for Arsenal Football Club at fullback, because I don't believe that's the case. Some Arsenal fans got very excited and said he's better than Tierney. He offers qualities that Tierney doesn't, forgetting a lot of stuff. So we'll have to see, but I can't deal with that right now. Arteta's the gaffer. It's not looking like we're going to get much of a tune out of him. In regards to Tavares, keep it moving. I mean, Arthur Melo's quite good. He just plays square passes too much, which is probably why we don't need him. I'll take McGinn still. So, yeah, man, he has got that arrogance, you know, and I do think at the same time, Zaha's humble, very humble. They're not experienced at the big stages, you're right. But then saying that some of these players are international footballers, we need experience. But like we've been doing, we're signing. You can't just sign man for the sake of it. Willian was experienced. We need to bring in the right experience. And like I said, more importantly, the right temperament, really and truly. And it needs to, you know, it needs to be contagious on the rest of the players, really. So we'll have to see, man. We really will have to see how that one day develops, man. What's the time? Anyways, people, on that note, I'm going to bust out. I'm going to go get some lunch quickly, chill out for a bit, might go gym quickly, and then I'm back at 4:45 where we'll be together. 5 p.m. kickoff, we'll be watching the final of the UEFA Under-17s Championship, people. It's due to be a good one, really. You know, it's on Twitch, so we'll be able to literally, I'll just have it on screen while we're watching it, which is quite cool. Any talking points, etc., make sure you get them in for that. Set your reminders and yeah, standard procedures, man. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., 11:30, you know, it's set already on YouTube and Twitch, people. Appreciative for you lot tuning in, your talking points, your engagement levels, your differences of opinions. Twitch gang, you know, you lot always do what you need to do. YouTube, appreciate you lot for smashing the like button. Make sure you're following and subscribing across both platforms, and you're also hitting up the Snapchat, DGooner04, as in just a letter D and then Gooner04. Deluded Gooner on TikTok. Make sure you're following on Twitter and Instagram and all of those things. Journey to 50k on YouTube and 10,000 on Twitch alive and kicking, people. Where can I watch the collaboration? Which one are you on about? Before I go, a couple interesting ones. What ones are you on about? If you're talking about Adrian Clark, it's not out yet. Art de Roche. I'm gonna go eat my breakfast. My man said breakfast. I'm gonna go eat my lunch and then I'll get that one out for you lot. I'm gonna cut up some of these clips for you. So yeah, Adrian Clark, probably a tomorrow thing. Shout out to Adrian Clark once again. Make sure you look, go and check out the breakdown on Arsenal. It's not, that's his thing. But yeah, that. So yeah, man, I would say that. We can run the Darwin comp. Big up my guy C. You know, it's not a live stream if he's not here. Pardon me. You nailed it, DG. Nuno has to first unlearn before he learns. That often goes unnoticed. That takes hours of quality repetition. Exactly. You got to learn to think like a defender, bro. You know, I was a failed winger. I went fullback. To be fair, I've always been on defending, but you have to learn to think like a defender. And you have to learn, a big part of defending is thinking. It's not always the mad slide tackles and all the things that are going to be in compilations. It's communication, it's temperament, it's asking yourself things. Oh, shit. I've just tried to attack now. I'm out of position. That guy is quick and he's playing right wing. I should probably tuck in. or my centre back is getting killed, let me tuck in, or I'm struggling against not only the left back and the winger, they're overloading the down my hand side, let me pull Martinelli back and say, yo, whatever in Portuguese, you stand on him or whatever. Like you see with Cedric, him and Holding, if they talk to each other, they still would have got twined up by Son. But maybe if Cedric says, you know what, I'll stand on Son, you cover, he spins Son spins him, and next man is there, or they pull in a midfielder to do it. We've got, the footballers, as much as it's on Arteta, which again, in scenarios like that, he set them up to fail. They've got to want to learn to defend. We're not asking ourselves the right questions. Ben White, 50 million, second season. He's just come off in the Premier League. The first where he's a leader. He's had his hand held when he's played for Leeds. He's been shifted to right back and had his hand held by Dunk and Duffy and all these guys at Brighton. There's no one that's going to do that with him here. There's not that experience done. Gabriel's a madman in himself, as much as I love him, and he's learning the tricks and trades. Saliba, as much as he's very cultured, I've been watching almost every game. You've seen the loan reports. He's going to do fantastic here. But on occasion, he's going to do dumb shit like he was doing, like the Lyon game, or the game he gave a free kick on the edge of the end of the game, ending either at half-time or the game being done, giving away a free kick. For as good as he's been against Mbappe, as composed as he is on the ball. Bro, these man, did you get it? You get it anyways, man. You get it. Like, you understand it. Like, you get it. So, yeah, man. DG, it's criminal. We are paying Arteta more than Conte is making the dude has to go. Listen, you got to take that up with Arsenal, man. What I'd say to Conte, get your hustle up, in it. But yeah, it is quite sad, really. But this is why the gloves are off for Arteta. You're getting paid big wages, as you said, handsomely compensated. Back-to-back 8th. Fair enough, you got 5th now. It's time to see what you're doing in terms of man management, game management, quality on the pitch, improvement, being able to manage them high pressure moments, the start of the season, the tail end of the season, doing or not doing certain things in January. These are all, as much as there's issues, a lot of problems, or for me, I think, we ain't got top 4 because it's all self-inflicted. I can get at the owners of this football club generally for their time at Arsenal, but I don't think missing out on top 4 is because of them. It's on Edu, it's on Arteta, and it's on these players. You had an opportunity, you fumbled the bag. Chocolate teapot setting. So, man, need to know you're learning because the gloves are off next season. So it is where it is, man. Shout American Gooner for gifting the subs them as well. Always on top 4, man. You need to buy the club for what it's worth, people. So, yeah, I'm actually going to keep it moving now. Like I said, exclusive to Twitch. 4:45. Don't let me lie to you. 4:45. We'll be watching the Euros final. Check out the rest of the content. Most importantly, you lot stay safe, stay blessed. Obviously, over here in the UK, it's bank holiday setting soon. American Gooner, one love for gifting out them community subs again. So yeah, hope you all have a good, hope you all have a good bank holiday and enjoy what you're doing. Hope you're moving that much closer to your goals, hopes, dreams, and ambitions, and overcoming hardship. Hope everyone's fit and healthy, and your loved ones too, man. You lot stay safe, stay blessed, appreciative to all the support you guys give me. It's a shame we have to go. I hate goodbyes, as I'm trying everything not to go, as you lot can see. But it's goodbye for now, innit? Safe. Hit the like button.
There's always that active red line defending. I think it's like